Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wham Lou. You are listening to the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. We're coming to you live Monday, slightly afternoon. Sorry, guys. I'm dealing with a bum ankle right now. I played basketball 3 days in a row, and turns out that in your 30s, if you play 3 straight days, your ankle will start looking like Buddy Hield's teeth, basically. Joined by co-host Alex Wong. What's going on, buddy? You all right?
Yo, what's going on, man? Hope your stiff ankle is healing. Stifler over here.
Uh,
Did you get that reference or no? Yeah.
what is the Stifler? Is
Hey
this
man,
wrestling again?
that's a really funny joke that you made there, Alex.
Is this wrestling again?
It's a reference to the teen sex romp American Pie and the character
Yeah,
Stifler, played
Oh.
by Sean William Scott.
Got
You never seen American Pie before?
I think I was like 8 or 9 when it came out, so
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
age appropriate. But maybe I should go back and revisit it.
It wouldn't be obvious that there are two 40-year-olds on the pod, but there would be signs.
There would be signs. Speaking of which, Supper Swaggerman. Supper Swagman says, "Feel better, Unk." Yeah, I official Unk status actually for getting
man,
injured
you're
for
like-
just playing 3 straight days. It was a very
You're
humbling
like
experience.
32, man. Nobody should be calling you Unk, man.
I don't know. They were calling Tobias Harris Unk, man. Tobias Harris also 92. He was also what was it? A water monkey?
I think
my
this
God.
is definitely a case of you just not taking care of your ankle soon enough, not so much being washed, I would say.
X-ray's
I think
negative,
playing
so-
through it. Yeah.
X-ray's negative, thankfully. No breaks.
That's good to hear.
Just
yeah.
just one big Stifler over here.
Oh, this was such an obvious pull. Jason Biggs's apple blame pie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
There you
perfect
go.
crossover,
Perfect.
man.
Perfect crossover.
Damn.
All right.
Yeah, shouts to friend of the program, Robert. We're excited to be going to the Leafs game tonight. Leafs Panthers. Leafs in 4, you know what I'm saying?
Leafs
are-
in 4, a sweep.
Leafs are my new Clippers, so
Oh no,
we're gonna get on that. But yeah, great
Leafs
play.
pinned the Clippers, sadly.
Yeah, another great weekend of the playoffs. I am ready to declare Game Sevens to just be not good though.
What?
Like,
Come on.
no, Game Sevens has the stakes, the drama, but the actual games are not that good.
You know, I feel you because we recently did rewatch Game 7 between the Raptors and the Sixers, and even watching that game back now, especially with like 5 years removed, like without the emotion of like living through and dying with every bucket, my takeaway was just like this was just like bad frenetic basketball. I think at this point, like neither team really has like huge adjustments to surprise at each other. Both teams are a little bit afraid of making a big mistake, and so you do end up having like slower than usual games, and then a lot of like isolations. And then there's also the thing with Game Sevens where some teams just break, like the Clippers, which we'll talk about here because we're serving up 2 hot and fresh blame pies,
Yeah,
BOGO
James-
blame pies on a
James
Monday.
Harden, get ready to be on 2 pies today,
Woo,
bro.
James Harden, you about to eat some pie,
I
but
got you on both, brother.
oh my goodness, yeah. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just break. So yeah, I do agree that Game Sevens can sometimes be not as dramatic as they seem. The thing is though that there's the highest heights possible in Game 7. Like when we think back to the Raptors Sixers one, the moment of being able to just straight up end a series with one move like Kawhi did, or 2016, that infamous 3-1 comeback where the Warriors did actually blow on a 3-1 lead. Like the I don't know, the highs of a Game 7 are higher than ever, but I think the average Game 7 can be a little disappointing.
Yeah, like think about like some of the most iconic Game Sevens. Like I guess the most recent one maybe like Cavs Warriors when they came back from 3-1, and like that Game 7 was disgusting. Like that was a terrible. But like you'll always, but like you mentioned, because of the stakes, you'll always remember for like the block, the shot, the stop. Yeah, revisiting it. I don't know. We're giving Kevin Love that much credit for stopping Steph because he was dancing on that possession.
No, the funniest thing was I think for like 5 straight minutes the Warriors didn't have a bucket. Like the last 5 minutes it was nasty. It wasn't just one stop. It was like the defensive stand basically.
I'm ready to declare Game 6s to be better than Game 7s. Yeah. Game
Another
6 is
great
better
point
than
by Supper Swagman.
Oh
who,
yeah.
his number one in the chat so far today, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Maybe I had to hand out 3 stars for every chat, actually, like a React pod. But to be fair, hockey game 7s have been historically good in the past couple of days. Yeah, I saw. Did Winnipeg have like a triple overtime game winner from Lowry?
Dog. So Colorado Dallas on Saturday, Colorado was up 2-0 with 12 minutes left.
Okay.
And then, I mean, to keep a story short, so basically Colorado traded one of their top players earlier this season.
Okay,
like,
who was
in
that?
like a salary move, Ratinen. And
Okay.
then he ended up
The year of the Ratinen?
Yeah, he ended up on Dallas, and he scored a hat trick to come back against them. Like, it was a crazy revenge game in a game 7. So they ended up coming back 3-2. And then the Jets yesterday were down 3-1 with 2 minutes left. They scored a goal, and then they tied it with 1 second left.
Yo, wow,
Yo,
buzzer beater.
They tied it with 1 second left, and then they won in double OT. It was crazy.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
Hockey's a different beast because like
Yeah.
hockey's like game 7. Like you can shoot a puck, it'll bounce off 2 guys like skates and asses, and it'll go in. Like it's like if LeBron beat the Warriors by bouncing a ball off Draymond's head. Man. Like,
Yeah, no. In hockey, it wouldn't be like the shot, the block, and like the stop. It would just be like the deflection, the tip it.
oh, apparently it's Rantanen. Sorry guys, it's a Asian Heritage Month, so he's a rat now.
Nah, he's ratting it. It's nuts, man.
Go Leafs, go baby!
Hey, go
all
Leafs,
right.
go, baby! I can't wait, man. Are we favorites in this series or not?
Or not? I think everybody's picking Florida because they're
Why?
the defending champions. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, this might be kind of like Rockets Warriors. I don't know, but
Really?
anyways, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, on to basketball. Where should we start, bro?
Let's go out west with the blame pie that everybody's waiting for. The LA Clippers are out in 7 against the Denver Nuggets. Full credit here to Denver, and full disclosure, the 3 of us all picked the LA Clippers to win this series. I was arguably the most bullish. I picked the Clippers to win in 5. Jerome Chang is wearing a triple XL Lamar Odom jersey.
I think this is just like a 90s XL, which is funny.
Okay.
It's just like
90s
huge as
XL
hell.
is 15 XL for Asian sizes.
Exactly.
Modern day Asian sizes. But in any case,
I
we
wore
were
this
all
to
wrong.
NBA
Not for us chunky Asians. Yeah.
Oh, relax. This ain't the cat.
curvy round.
Not curvy ratting.
Oh God. No, I wore this to NBA courtside. It just sat there in my shame.
Oh,
Yeah.
shouts to courtside. Great
Hey, big
wings
shots to
there.
courtside.
Big
Yeah.
shouts to
food.
courtside. Yeah.
Great TVs. Yeah. TVs there. Perfect for your pregame, during the game, and postgame.
There you go.
Yeah, make sure you check that out.
So
Yeah,
Alex,
cookies.
you were the strongest in favor of the LA Clippers. So before we even get to this blame pie, like, why were you so bullish on the Clippers, man?
Well, I think I was just spending like 3 months listening to a lot of Bill Simmons and watching a lot of
Oh my
ESPN
God.
First Take. So I think this is a good lesson for like, the misinformation era to like really get your news from credible sources.
Such as
I'm not sure, the Atlantic,
you think the Atlantic is talking about who?
Washington Post. I don't know, man.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, but people parading all the stats. You watch the Clippers 18-3 down the stretch. And
Oh, he already did earlier this year.
the Clippers were the better team to start this series, but they blew game 1, and they lost horrifically in game 4 on the Aaron Gordon dunk
Yeah.
at the buzzer,
Man.
and just didn't show up in game 7. Like I can't even explain it. Like James Harden dropped another dud.
Oh,
I was really upset at Ty Lue too, because he had found something with our guy Nick Batum there in game 6 to swing the series, at least swing that game. And then you would expect maybe he was going to start Batum in game 7 and drop Chris Dunn, and instead he's like, surprise, here's Derrick Jones Jr. And Jones
That was
Jr.
a
was good at
surprise.
but the problem is like Derrick Jones Jr. was as wide open as Chris Dunn because no one was defending him. And he's shooting all these wide open threes the exact same way that Chris Dunn did. And I just didn't get why Ty at least didn't just start with his best lineup. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. So, But yeah, no, I blame James Harden for this. I gotta sprinkle a little blame on Kawhi as well. But I think you
We'll
gotta
get to
credit
that.
you gotta credit the Nuggets too, man. You gotta credit the Nuggets too. Like, all the role players stepped up. Michael Porter was great in this series. Christian Brown was great. Even his defense
Oh, Christian
on
Brown was
Harden.
amazing, man.
And Westbrook stepped up, man.
Yeah.
Westbrook was amazing in all the wins in this series. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, so, you know.
I
gotta
like
give
in all
credit
the
to-
wins,
Yeah.
which is the Westbrook experience.
Yeah,
I
but
would argue
Yeah.
Westbrook is like the most main character role player we've ever had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
wins and losses come down to Westbrook, even though he's a role player, which you
Right. In terms of how he affects it, yeah, he swings it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and him with the all-time just like hanging on the rim, getting the technical on purpose.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was a super cool moment. So, yeah.
I have one question. Had the Clippers actually moved on to the second round, would you have picked them over the Thunder?
No.
Yeah, but we'll get to our picks later.
Come on,
but
man.
gonna say.
Come on.
because the Clippers are out now, you know, the Thunder are a great team, man. 72-14
Oh,
so
man.
far.
72 and 14. When did we start adding the regular season and the playoffs together, man?
Jalen Williams,
That's so nasty.
Which?
Isaiah Hartenstein. Oh my God, that team is loaded, man. Nobody has a chance out west. Yeah.
They weren't the 72 win Bulls. They were the 88 win Bulls. Like, get out of here, man.
Oh man. I remember I was in NBA courtside when it looked like there was any bit of hope for the Clippers, and I'm like turning to my friends. I'm pretty sure Alex would pick them ahead of the Thunder, and I just really wanted to confirm it over here.
Yeah, even
Oh,
Ty
if you
Lue.
listen to the Scores Unfiltered show, Alex is on record picking
Right.
them over the Thunder.
Dog,
you go.
I had Lakers Clippers in the conference finals. Once again, man, just get your information from credible sources,
Yeah, that's tough.
and just don't rely on just First Take and Bill Simmons. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not
But
a
also
good
listen to our show too. Subscribe and like.
look. We are part of the problem.
Despite of the credibility of our choices, yeah.
Guys, I think before we get to the blame pie, we will get to the blame pie in a second.
Yeah.
I think the main reason why we all picked the Clippers is, unfortunately, I think we were all bought here because if you actually point to this media credential row for the
hell
Clippers
yeah.
game,
Yeah.
you can see there seat 10, 11, and 12. Will Liu, the nation, Alex
Yep.
Wong, the nation, and Jerome Chang, the nation. I think this is the one game this year where the three of us all got credentialed for. Actually, no, that's not true.
No,
Philadelphia
we
also-
got Philadelphia as
Philly
well.
also gave us all triple credentials. Usually
But
we get
I think
one, so
I
usually
feel
go,
like
but-
this might be the one where like our full names were down. Like we
well,
had
the full Nation Network name was now down because there's a big difference
Yeah.
between the Nation and the Nation Network. I gotta say.
yeah, the Nation of Domination. I great one, Alex. Yeah,
Where's the crickets thing? Yeah. Oh, cool.
find the crickets thing.
Oh,
There
hold
you
on.
go.
There we go.
You got the loop on.
I gotta turn the loop off. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Also, no, I think absolutely we got fooled by the media meal.
Yeah, Justine
yeah.
Justine Jones will be on this blame pie, unfortunately. So-
Oh my god! All right, let's start cooking, man. Let's start cooking.
All right, let
Jerome,
me load this up for you guys.
please present the blame pie in progress. I'm so looking forward to this one. This might be the tastiest one.
Blame
possible.
pie unsullied by sponsors. Yeah, no
Well,
sponsors.
yeah. I really gotta go out and just make an ask. I'm sorry,
Please,
guys.
man.
I've been dealing 24/7 with this stupid ankle.
You're embarrassing Hello right now, man.
Yeah,
How can Hello do a pie and not be sponsored?
Yeah, I spent 5 hours at the emergency at
Oh my God.
at St.
Damn, man.
Joseph's. No, it just takes a long time to like go in and get seated and
Yeah, X-rays are negative.
X-rays were negative. Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. Yes,
Yeah.
but any case, the ingredients for the blame pie. Alex, do you have a list of ingredients, or do you want me to start throwing? Some
Yeah,
in
you
first?
can start and then I'll fill it in.
Okay, let's
Wait,
start
before
with.
you start, I do
Oh, okay.
want to make a suggestion for these blame pies. Hit me up each time first with who you think probably deserves the most blame,
Okay.
and
Let's-
then we'll work our way down from there.
Got you. Let's go with James Harden first.
Yep.
Number one on the blame pie, James. I don't even know what his middle name is, man.
C
it's-
for choke. Yeah, James C. Harden.
Yo, James C. Harden. That's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Lawrence Frank
Okay.
as number
okay.
2.
My guy
Yeah.
Al Frank. Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence Frank, L for loss.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Kawhi Leonard. Sorry, buddy, you're gonna have to eat some blame pie for this.
Yeah, Kawhi, man.
Uh,
Ha ha ha.
oh man, that's tough. Crickets. We're gonna put Chris Dunn on this list. I did not enjoy the visual experience of Chris Dunn playing basketball in this series.
Yeah.
Chris Dunn,
Chris
you are
Dunn.
joining this
Iconic,
list.
82 game player.
Lindsey Dunn, 100% better. Ben Simmons getting a little slice of blame pie.
Nah, leave Ben alone.
No, Ben Simmons getting the blame pie. Let's be real, man.
Okay.
Ty Lue getting a little blame pie as well.
Little bit. Still love
Yeah.
Ty. Yeah, still love Ty.
What was the record? Was undefeated in Game 7s. Records fall.
Yeah,
Bogdan
risk.
Bogdanovic. Bogdan
yeah.
Bogdanovic. Yeah, he needs some blame pie, man. I had a lot of expectations for Bogdan, and every time I watched him, I'm like, yo, why are you choking so hard this whole series?
He did not get going in this series, man.
Steve Ballmer,
Yep.
The Wall,
The wall
And then-
traveled.
and then The Flight.
Oh, the flight. Are we
Yeah.
gonna put Norm on this at all?
I mean, we did get a great interview with Norm, man.
No, the pie transcends relationships.
Okay, all right. The pie transcends relationships.
How about specifically the Norman Powell interview? 'Cause
Yeah,
it-
the Norman Powell interview.
Okay, all right.
And then Justine Jones.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
make sure
we
send this
apologize
segment.
ahead of time to the Jones family, the illustrious Jones family.
Yeah,
of
and the
Paul
lame stream
Jones,
and
Mark
the lame
Jones.
stream media.
Lame stream media. Oh my
And-
goodness.
And then separately, hello and welcome.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we deserve a little bit of here.
Okay, let's start with Big Game James.
Oh man.
That's what they calling him around these parts. I don't know, man. Like, was anybody expecting James Harden to have a good game in Game 7? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like expectations are so low for him in these situations, and it's so weird because like he had a great Game 6.
Yeah. He did.
And
Yeah.
for him to come out in Game 7, I know they were doubling him and all this stuff, and like, he was doing his little playmaking, but like he just was not aggressive.
You little playmaker.
This guy lobbing to Zubac, like air balls to Zubac in the paint, like was not boxing out. Like, when are we ever, and I don't think we're ever going to get it, but when are we ever going to get the James Harden game where he's just going full force? I want this game. I'm going to grab this game. This is my team. This is my game. Just none of that. Like, I don't even know how many shots he took. I think he took like 8 shots.
How do you only take 8 shots? By the way, why was James Harden always holding on to the ball until 2 seconds left? He would just like hold and dribble in the corner, like not doing anything, and then just shoot.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
The real wall was James Harden just dribbling into the Nuggets. Like, he was just dribbling into a wall the whole time. And I hate when he does his little like dribble, dribbling into a step back side step 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, it's just, I mean, we don't even need to go through the resume. People know how James Harden has done in these games. Like, he got benched in a Game 6 elimination game for like Josh Smith and Corey Brewer. Like,
That's not even
I
game
think-
7.
yeah, that was like a Game 6, and then there was one where I think Kawhi was out against the Spurs, and he ended up dropping a dud, and they lost, and like all those games, Rockets, Warriors, all the Philadelphia games. I think he's responsible for the last 2 times a team has been falling behind like 30 plus in a Game 7, because Philly was down 30 plus to Boston
Yes.
in the Game 7 as well. So
Shouts to Keeks for that stat.
there's really like nothing new about this James Harden performance. Like, this was James.
So I don't know if we've ever had a player as great in the regular season versus what he is in the biggest moments. Because if you just look at James Harden's last 5 elimination games, like not just Game 7s, although 3 of these are Game 7s, but like the deeper the series goes, the more James Harden shrinks, right? So this one, he has 7 points, 2 of 8 shooting. 2024, Game 6 versus Dallas, he has 16 points on 5 of 16 shooting, 0 of 6 from 3. 2023, Game 7 versus Boston. This is when he was with the Sixers. 9 points, 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 5 turnovers. 2022, Game 6 versus Miami. 11 points, 4 of 9 from the field. Why is he only taking 9 shots? And then 4 turnovers in that one as well. And then Game 7 versus Milwaukee. This is when he was 2 franchises ago with Brooklyn. Arguably, he actually didn't get a lot of shit for this because he was clearly hurt. But 22 points on 5 of 17 shooting, 2 of 12 from 3, 4 turnovers. It's hard because you can't really come out of any series when the Clippers or the Rockets or the Sixers or the Brooklyn Nets lose. You can't ever come out of the series feeling good about James Harden when they lose. Like, it's different because, like, we just saw, for example, the Rockets lose. Like, Alperen Sengun's not going to go on the blame pie. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways where you can lose and you don't get the blame. James Harden loses, and every time he gets a ton of the blame. I would honestly give him, like...
It's got to be high, man.
Like, it's got like 40. Let's give him 40%
Oh
on the
man,
blame
I was
pie.
gonna give him 75.
75. No, come on. That game 7, I feel like can't overweigh this much. But
I think he's got to take at least more than half of the blame. So maybe 50.01.
okay, let's go 50.1.
I feel like he's got to take, and it's like we just saw what Steph did too this weekend. Like he was getting doubled, like trapped the whole the whole game there in Game 7, and he wasn't scoring at the start. And look at the way Steph was able to find himself and like have an incredible game. And like this is what great players do. They just figure it out, and it's not even about the shooting stats. Like you can have a terrible shooting game, but what else is James bringing to the table? Like he brought nothing to the table in Game 7.
I think there's something to be said, not even just with the stats, because that really flattens the experience. But like when you watch it and like the visceral experience, the emotional experience, like one thing I love about Steph is when the Warriors are down or up, he's just always smirking. He's like chewing in the mouth guard. Like it's the ultimate sign of confidence. And you just heard Buddy Hield through his teeth was talking about, after Game 7, he was like, well, there was a big like meeting where Draymond and Steph like really spoke up and like urged the team to step up for Game 7. And there's a leadership component. And then they came out and did all those things, not just like what they usually do with their scoring, but like Steph was going above and beyond. He was taking charges, he was getting steals, he's rebounding the ball like crazy. Like there's just that next level of like leadership that you have to take on. And I feel like I never see that from James Harden. I see him sidestepping the role all the time. Like when things aren't going well for him, it means that he's not going to do anything else for the team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man.
It's 50.1. I this is a good
disappointed in you, James. Probably not going to buy your sneakers anymore, man.
Wow, those are great sneakers. Though. They look great.
I was waiting for them to go on discount, which will
not even like an SVP situation.
I don't know, man. Oh, don't even bring up that SVP experience we had last week.
Oh yeah, Ooh, that was sick,
baby.
By the way, I do have a James Harden. I have James Harden 3s. I think those hit SVP like a year ago. So
okay, well he's on the 9s now. So. I don't know what you want me to do.
I got James Harden shoes from when he was playing in Houston.
Oh my goodness!
Shit, man. These are OKC Hardens.
No, this is the ones he was wearing on the bench when he got benched for Josh Smith and Corey Brewer.
These are Arizona State Hardens.
I'm wearing oh my goodness.
All right, Lawrence Frank, make your case for my guy, my favorite executive, Lawrence Frank.
Yeah, Lawrence Frank. I mean, all year it looked like he made one of the best decisions, which was letting Paul George go. I mean, honestly, a Sixers blame probably would have hit like crazy too, but like they're not even in the playoffs. But like that looked like a good decision. I think ultimately when I look at the Clippers team, I'm like, I think it's like this is like not just for this year, but the totality of it. Like, what did you end up putting together? Like this team is the ultimate tease. They're like Arsenal with trophies right now. You just gotta wait till next season. Shouts to Patrice Evra for that one. But like, I don't know. Like you broke up so many happy homes to make this thing happen, right? Everyone goes to LA. They're like, okay, we're here. You got every resource possible. You got a new arena. You got a new coach. You get 2-star players, 3-star players. Doesn't really matter. You got players signing for discounts for you. Nick Batum extending his career for you. And ultimately, like, what do you have to show for it, man? This team sucks. This team is going to be remembered as more disappointing than almost any other Clipper team. And this whole era with Kawhi and then Paul George, obviously that trade didn't go out well. I don't know. I just feel like this is not even for just 1 year alone, but the legacy of what he built for the Clippers, like, slap this man like 15%. I feel like.
Damn, man. No, I gotta defend my guy LF here. I think coming into the season, everyone had the Clippers under 500, missing the playoffs, and I think there was a lot of questioning of letting Paul George go as well, because like you're all in already with Kawhi. You have Harden. Like, why would you let Paul George go and sign all these guys? And listen, guys like Chris Dunn and Derek Jones Jr., a lot of them did not, come through here in the playoffs. But for them to win 50 games with Kawhi joining them, like, halfway through the season, like, they were super disappointing in this first round. But I felt like they overachieved this year. And I almost feel like the blame more has to go to the players than LF. Because you think about them blowing the 3-1 lead in the bubble, like that was purely on the players. This series too, like we're putting it on James, we're putting it on these other guys. I actually think Clippers have a really good front office, and it's just Kawhi's injuries, Paul George coming up short, small game James. Like I think those are the guys that get the blame.
But who decides who's on the roster?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Plus you don't like LF.
Plus, I just don't like Lawrence Frank. Man.
Yeah, you know what? Just for the hate, let's give him 15%.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we can adjust this down later.
No,
Yeah.
I like it.
I just don't
next-
like Lawrence Frank.
Next up, who we got here? It's too small. You got to read it out for me.
Big Y, man. Kawhi Leonard. Okay, that's just not it, man. That's not close. Jerome, please go include the go find the Kawhi laugh clip. We need that as a drop. But I think with I think the issue with Big Y more than anything else is I watching this version of him on the Clippers versus obviously watching the best version of Kawhi ever, which was 2019 for the Raptors. Like there is a big difference, and it's not necessarily in the stats. Because if you look at the stats, like Kawhi was pretty efficient every single game. But watching it through the series, it's like Kawhi has a cap. Kawhi never works overtime. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys. It's like, okay, I'm going to get my job done in this 8-hour shift. As soon as the shift is over, I'm out of here. Like, it doesn't matter. And you look back on it, you're like, well, I can't complain. Every objective I give him, he's done, right? You did a good job on his assignment. He scored the ball efficiently. What more can you want from Kawhi? The issue is basketball games are not like shifts at work. Basketball games are you need to go above and beyond sometimes to get the job done. And I feel like Kawhi never had the ability to extend himself in this series. I actually walked away pretty disappointed with Kawhi because I'm my memory of Kawhi in 2019 was just like whatever it took. You know what I mean? If it's like, okay, he's got to take 37 shots. Was it 39 shots in game 7? Then he's going to do it. He's going to run the whole offense. And then he's like, you know what? If I got to guard Jimmy Butler, I'll shut him down. If I got to guard Kawhi Leonard, or no, if I got to guard Giannis, I'll shut him down. But like that Kawhi of like getting every big rebound, getting every big stop, getting every big bucket, the do-it-all Kawhi, that's gone, man. And I guess that's like not a surprise because he's older, but he's got to pick and choose his spots. And then, of course, whatever he does do, he does well in, but he just can't go beyond that mark anymore.
Yeah, completely agree with you. I think the only game where we saw Kawhi and Harden be the best two players on the court was in Game 6. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the only way they were going to win Game 7 was Kawhi was that monster two-way player and just took over and you know, just, you know, said, you know, I'm going to be the guy, like everybody just follow me. And he just doesn't have that anymore. And I think we're still fooled by the illusion of it because like you'll still see glimpses of it where he's just going to rip the ball from somebody and just steal it when he wants. He's still got a very smooth like offensive game, especially when he gets in the mid-range. Mm-hmm. But when you put it all together, like you said, like he doesn't have that takeover ability anymore. And to me, that's really as much as we blame James Harden too, this is not from Kawhi's lack of trying. This is from injuries and all of these other reasons, but he is the biggest reason why they're not better. They didn't get the version of Kawhi that we got in Toronto. And that's the biggest reason.
Yeah, that's why it's also really fun watching them blow up every year. But I don't know. I expected one of James Harden and Kawhi to play. I don't know. Would you say who played better in this series, Kawhi Leonard or Jamal Murray? Like from the eye test, not looking at their stats right now, just your impression.
I would still go with Kawhi.
Games.
I think Kawhi was consistent. But Kawhi's, like you mentioned, not that Kawhi who can take over and win a game for you anymore.
Okay. Right.
So, I mean, Jamal had that 143-point game, and I think he played better as the series went on. But I still think Kawhi had a great series, but like it's not good enough.
Does Kawhi need to be a number 2 now?
Yeah, I guess James can be the number 1. Yeah.
Oh, buddy. Oh, no. Oh, no.
There we go.
Love you. Love you, Jerome. That was quick work.
I think this is the big problem if you're a Clippers fan, like I used to be, is that you finally get a healthy Kawhi, which you've been talking about like all these past years. Man, if we got a healthy Kawhi, look out. You know, we're coming into the playoffs with great momentum, all of this stuff.
Right.
And you still lose in the first round. And you can sit here and say, like, listen, we went up against a really tough opponent.
Yeah,
we went up against Jokic, but, like,
people, I mean,
this was your series. This was your series to win. And I think that's got to be the most demoralizing thing for the Clippers is that, like, you know, we were hanging on to this one thing of having Kawhi back, and we're still not good enough.
And again, this is the conceit with Kawhi is you can take the regular season off, right? Like the Raptors with load management. Fine. You want to take 22 games off? Go ahead. But that means you're going to give us like 22% extra in the playoffs, which he did. So no one's ever unhappy with it. The issue with he took 50% of the season off this time and did not give 50% extra in the playoffs.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee you're going to be able to line things up like this again. Because with Kawhi, it's really day-to-day, year-to-year.
And it makes me sad because I root for Kawhi wholeheartedly, man. But I'm giving Kawhi, I don't know, 5%? 10%?
Yeah, okay. Let's give him
Probably 5%. Who's giving 5%?
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean,
After,
I love Kawhi
after
for all
all
that.
this, I'm saying he's the main reason why this era sucks.
Well, he's not the main reason, but
He really is if you know.
you know what? He is the one constant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Who's next?
Chris Dunn.
Yeah.
My enduring memory.
KD. KD.
Oh man. No, Chris Dunn.
Easy money, non-sniper.
Oh my goodness, man. Chris Dunn, the way he would smoke layups, the way he would be
Smokestack brothers.
Oh no, man. He's a sinner, man, the way he was playing basketball. Like I just look, obviously defensively he's very disruptive, and a lot of what the Clippers did well this season defensively was down to Chris Dunn and his disruption on the perimeter. I think in the playoffs, I think there was a huge role that he could have played in this series. Sometimes he would play a good role in this series, but like that all felt like gimmicks and like sort of like I guess against maybe a more inexperienced player than Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, that some of that shenanigans would have worked. But in this series, he just looked crazy, man. Like the Clippers never guarded him, or the Nuggets never guarded him even once. He was left wide open. The amount of games he was like 1 for 9 from 3 on like wide open threes. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like it's. I don't know. Every time I was watching him, I was just like, just get him off the floor. Like, there's just not a need for him to be on there. It doesn't really matter how disruptive he is defensively, which he honestly wasn't that disruptive in the grand scheme of things. So, I don't know. Just the feel of watching him was bad. Like, he gave me that, like, Andre Roberson vibe.
Yeah,
back in the day.
there's only one player in the NBA right now that can stay on the court despite having zero offensive game, and it's Draymond. Like, there's no other guy you can really... Every other guy gets played out of a series.
Yeah.
And I thought Ty, in retrospect, waited a bit too long.
I agree.
To make that move. And I'm still upset he didn't start Batum in Game 7. But, like, the thing with these guys is, like, I think it's from the Sloan Conference, this, like, basketball paper. Maybe I should have read it and then would have picked the Clippers. But it's, like, basically did a study of that this is the era where you shouldn't look at each team based on their strongest players, but you should look at every team based on their weakest link.
Wow, okay. I didn't know you were deep on nerd Twitter like this, man.
Yeah.
Salute you, man. Okay. All right.
But, like, this was the perfect... So basically, the premise of it is like you just look at how, who's the weakest player on the court in the playoffs for every single team.
Yeah.
And that gets exploited, and this was exploited in the whole series.
Yeah, he was never guarded, man.
And I didn't even think Chris Dunn was a great defensive player, but I don't even think he had a great impact on that end of the floor either.
Who did he stop?
Yeah, like I didn't feel like the trade-off was enough to keep him on the floor.
No, and it made it so awkward for the Clippers to run offense. Like, the Clippers never got into rhythm all series. And the Nuggets, even though they played good D in this whole series, I don't know, man. Like, Clippers have enough weapons to make it more difficult, and I think Chris Dunn was kind of like he hurt the Clips more than he actually helped. So, giving him a solid, 3% for how many threes he refused to take. I guess I'm leaving a lot of percentages behind here.
Nah, don't worry.
This pie's looking crazy.
There's still Justine Jones. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Shouts to Justine. I miss you. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is on this list because of his name.
Why, man? Because of his cornrols?
No. I mean, he did pop out with those, which were surprising. But I mean, Ben Simmons. I don't know. I mean, I guess what's happening with Ben Simmons? Like this is just the rest of his career now. Like he's just gonna fade. He looks like he's gonna retire in a year or two.
Ben for a game and a half was the Jokic stopper.
That was never gonna be a thing.
And then he disappeared. He got benched for the rest of the series. Like he was not playable. It's tough. Like seeing where he's come. I think his contract is up I guess he's a free agent. I really wonder what's gonna happen to his career now.
I think he's done in the NBA in a year.
Damn, man.
Like, what's
really
he doing?
Think so?
Well, I mean, like, I don't.
How old is Ben Simmons, man?
He's probably still like in his late 20s. He's probably like 28, 29.
Well, the whole thing about him is always like, does he actually enjoy basketball and stuff?
That's what I'm saying. When he plays basketball, I'm like, dog, I don't know if you want to be here.
Well, I just don't know what he actually does on the court. Yeah. You know what I mean, though, when he steps on the court?
Well, you know what? He does
Like
a
he
good
gives
job
you a
of the-
body.
he gives you a good transition phase.
Sure.
So,
But it's
like-
like anywhere near the basket, it's a no.
Well,
Like, he's
anywhere
not-
far from the basket is also a no. So.
Yeah, he also doesn't want to catch the ball anywhere. So,
Right.
yeah, we can give a little blame to Ben.
Yeah, I feel
I
bad.
think-
Actually, I feel sympathy for Ben.
Okay,
I'm
we
gonna-
can we can remove Ben.
Yeah, remove Ben. Actually, just take him
Yeah.
off the pizza altogether.
Remove Ben.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, who's next?
Let's go with Ty Lue. Ty
Oh,
Lue.
big game tie.
Ty Lue. I feel like So I guess I don't know. Ty Lue has a great reputation.
Yeah, I think Ty's one of the best coaches in the league. Am I
Right.
wrong?
That's what everyone says about Ty Lue. Right. No
Yeah.
one ever comes in and says anything different about Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Did you feel like okay? So he's playing against an interim head coach in David Adelman, who
Mm-hmm.
openly says that Nikola Jokic is coaching the team, not necessarily him.
Right.
Um,
David Adelman's the new yes man of the NBA. Man.
oh man! Oh yes!
I'm surprised
Oh,
he doesn't.
yes.
I'm surprised he doesn't show up to games in a yes sirs shirt.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Anyway,
Yes sir.
so in this situation,
Yeah.
should Ty Lue not have a huge advantage? And
Yeah.
what I said earlier is like Game 7, you usually don't see any new adjustments, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
but if you got to Game 7, you better have already used your adjustments earlier.
Right.
Ty Lue's like surprise curveball Game 7 adjustment. It's like, yeah, I mean that curveball.
Ty still had the Batum starting card to play, and he didn't play it. And I'm with you because the Clippers had more things to pull in this series. Like the Nuggets were playing 6-7 guys, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no adjustments coming from the Nuggets. Like they were just gonna run their best players.
Yeah.
And just figure things out. Whereas the Clippers could like adjust their lineups, maybe go small, maybe go bring all more shooters on the floor and all this stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I didn't come out of this series thinking that like Ty outcoached David Adelman.
No.
Like, and it felt like a push. And it felt like a push with the fact that like the Clippers. I still think the Clippers overall had the better team.
I agree with you. The Clippers did have a better team, and that's why we all picked the Clippers. The other thing with Ty was just like, especially in Game 7, how the hell did they lose the Jokic bench minutes, man?
Yeah, well they
Like
were.
Jokic hit the bench, and they were like, just kidding. They're gonna lose those minutes by even more. Like,
Yeah,
come on, man.
I don't think they were great in the non-Jokic minutes
Right.
at all, and some of that might actually go to your next guy, Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Bad Bogdanovic.
Bad dog Bogdanovic.
Oh no.
Woof.
Apologize to all the Serbians, man. We know he's a great player, but he was terrible in
We
this
love
one, man. I'm
Serbians,
sorry.
man. Yo, namaste. So
Serbian,
Ty.
man.
Oh yeah, we'll get to namaste later.
Oh my goodness, man. Yo, I
Ty-
apologize, man. I grew up in Etobicoke, man.
Yeah.
The number of Serbians I know, I'm sorry.
No,
guys.
no. Shouts to the Jokic brothers, man. Please don't come after me.
Yeah, that is like half of them look like the Jokic brothers. man.
Yeah, you know what? Great series by the Nuggets. Ty Lue, how much you?
I
wanna
feel
give?
like I'm giving 10% actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be adjusted. Open to be adjusting this.
No,
one.
I like that.
But
Yeah,
I
Bogdanovic. You know, I was waiting for him to be some kind of X factor the whole series, and just never happened.
He's a good shooter, right? Like I don't know when watching this series.
He pulled Serbian Landry Shaman in this series. Yeah.
Yo, but so like we know he's not like a strong defender, but it felt like he was like getting openly attacked defensively a lot, which like it happens, right? Like that's not the worst thing. The issue is, can you actually give it back to your team offensively? And I'm like, okay, Bogdanovic, like another guy. I'm like, I'm really confident in. I really like the way he integrated with the team post trade deadline. I thought he was going to be a factor. In this series, he shot 36% from the field. He averaged 6 points a game, shot 29% from three. And, like, I don't know, like, when I watch them on the world stage with playing for, like, Serbia and stuff, like, he's always really good. Like, I never really thought of him as, like, a guy who would drop this hard. But he's just looked lost to me, man.
Yeah, he's one of those players where over a 7-game series, you expect him to have one game. Like, one game where he goes for 20+. He's the swing guy in a series, and he just didn't have any moments in this series.
I'm gonna give him 5%.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, he deserves 5.
Who's
Slap him a
next?
5. Steve Ballmer.
Oh yeah, thigh 5 god.
That's for you. I feel like we're giving a 5 for the thigh 5s, but what's your case for Steve Ballmer here? I feel like he actually did everything right, to be honest.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer is actually a great owner. If you think about
Oh
it.
my god!
Incredible
Is it because we got
owner.
credentials?
No, man, he's a great owner, man. But he got to take some blame. Flew out 120+ fans, bought all their tickets, put them on what looked like a Spirit flight, based on the footage.
It certainly was no PJ, man.
I hope you guys didn't have to pay that $80 baggage fee that they scam you for. He brought them to watch the Clippers lose by 50, so that's tough. Like, where's the footage from the flight home, man?
This will be like in Lord of the Rings if like Aragorn like got the elves to pop up at Helm's Deep and then they just lost at Helm's Deep. You're like, what? What was the point of this?
Can you ask for a refund if the trip was free?
Oh my god!
Should we just combine Steve Ballmer and the flight then together into one thing here?
Yeah. Maybe go Steve Ballmer plus the flight. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe Steve Ballmer's flight. Let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
/ Spirit Airlines. But yeah, no. Think about it though. Like if you've had experience getting flown out, my guy.
Oh yeah.
By
I've been flew
AC,
out once in a while.
by Air Canada.
Hey, very open to getting flown out again. AC fan flight. Let's do some more of those fan flights, baby.
Like if you got flown out to a game 7 on the road for the Raptors and they're down by 30, are you staying for the whole game?
You're like, yo, what, can I just meet you at the airport?
Dog, like I'll go check out Colorado or something, man. Or Denver. Where like
the funniest thing is in Denver, the airport is like literally like 50 kilometers away from the city core, so it takes like half an hour to drive out there at minimum.
Oh,
it's like a very difficult like airport to get to. It's
hey,
very
listen,
far.
I'm sure those Clippers fans don't regret it. Like it was a free trip. You get to watch a game 7. Like it's pretty heartbreaking, but
Yo, do you
still
think
tough.
do you think the Clipper fan with the shirt on the flight was on that?
Oh yeah, my guy,
The
my
Asian
guy,
guy?
oh, my guy, Ricky Chu, Rick Daddy. Yeah. By the way, not to be anti-Asian on Asian Heritage
Oh my
Month,
God.
but after the Pistons and Clippers got eliminated, I unfollowed Tom Herr and Rick Daddy on Twitter. So
Oh, thank goodness.
I got
man.
the content I needed from them.
Nah, we're good, man. We're never gonna see those guys
Yeah,
again.
that 30 Asians on the Zoom, yeah, it's canceled. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
won't be the first time we've abandoned Asian Heritage Month initiatives.
Yeah. So how much percentage you want to give to this?
Steve Ballmer's fan flight. I don't know. It's just kind of funny. I'm gonna be at 1%. It's
Okay.
actually cool. I like seeing rich owners actually try to treat the fans.
No, Steve Ballmer's a great owner, man. Look
Yeah,
at
but
what's
he built-
happening in Dallas versus like here, like in LA. Like, come on.
There's nothing. I mean, the nastiest thing he did was obviously steal Kawhi from us, but also Kawhi really wanted to go home. Like, it wasn't a hard sell. Let's just say that much.
Yeah. Plus, it's been 6 years, man. Split ups happen in life, and you gotta just move past it. It takes time sometimes.
This coming from you is crazy.
Fake growth. But yeah, no, Ballmer, and you know what? The Intuit Dome is a good atmosphere. Like it was a good.
Oh yeah,
playoff
it was actually
crowd,
really
man.
it was actually really fun. Even though it was Raptors Clippers, I think on a Saturday afternoon.
Right.
It was still a pretty good atmosphere. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. So okay, who's next on this?
The Wall. I actually
yeah.
really like the Wall too. I liked how many props they always handed out props. So there was obviously the one where they handed out horse heads, but they also had a bunch of other props.
They did the horses again in Game 6, man. Yeah.
They just recycled them. They're like, just hold on to your horse heads and
No,
bring
but
them
it was like
back
a
for
different
Saturday.
horse. Yeah. It was like,
Okay.
yeah.
Was it Seabiscuit this time?
yeah, I think the Wall's a cool concept. I still would like it to be more than like 6 rows.
My
Like,
thing with the
yeah.
Wall is I wish it was more organic because there's like
Yeah.
specific like cheerleaders, like not even cheerleaders, like I guess people who lead cheers, who are like paid employees. And I feel like the difference
Right.
between like, let's say in soccer fandom, when you have like ultras who are like maybe the most passionate fans or the most vocal and expressive, those guys lead themselves.
Yeah.
And this feels like a corporate thing where it's like they're telling you how to cheer versus the fans should be able to dictate how they cheer themselves. Ultimately, though, the Wall's a good invention and everything like that. I like it, man.
Yeah, we'll give them like 1% just for doing the horses twice.
Yeah. Norm
who's
Powell
next?
interview. I mean, if we're talking about Norm Powell, the player, Norm certainly had lots of good moments. This is the thing with Norm. Like, he's not like he's either good or bad in a playoff game. I've
Yeah,
seen
I
a lot of
mean,
Norm playoff games, man.
Norm's the type of role player that's better at home than on the road.
Yeah, for sure. Which
Yeah.
the thing is, like, maybe he played at such a good level all season that the expectation was for him to be better than a role player. Because even at All-Star period, it was like, can Norm Powell be an All-Star? You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of discussion about this. the issue with Norm is he doesn't have much to fall back on if he's not scoring. And then his own scoring is not really dictated by himself. You know what I mean? Like he kind of depends on the team to sort of generate a good environment for him to score rather than he's a creator. Yeah. And so when he's not scoring well, he's not a good defender. He doesn't create for other people. So it does expose the limitation in Norm's game. However, when Norm is playing well and scoring, those felt like the games where the Clippers won. So I don't know. I guess it just took Norm from like maybe he's a fringe all-star level regular season wise to like he's like a good role player in the playoffs. But I don't know. I think that like Norm could be a candidate to be traded actually this offseason.
Yeah, I'll give Norm.
That's my prediction.
I'll give Norm 1%. I feel like on the aggregate, he contributed what you would have expected him to.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, when he was hot, the Clippers won. When he wasn't, the Clippers lost.
Yeah, like I wasn't looking at Norm in Game 7 and being like he's gonna be the swing guy.
Yeah, like, but I mean, what about all that momentum for Norm all season, man? We just gonna ignore that. Like, what did Norm average in this series? Norm averaged 16 on 47% shooting. You know what? Actually, that's not even bad at all.
Yeah, that's what you get from Norm, right?
But he did have the lowest plus minus of the team.
Well, he's probably on the floor for that 50-0 run in the third quarter.
He might have been, yeah.
Yeah, Kawhi career low minus 33 in Game 7.
Yeah, well, you know, his efficiency was good.
Okay, who's next on this?
Justine Jones, Alex Wong, please, man.
You know, Justine Jones was so kind to us when we were in Los Angeles to cover the Clippers.
She gave us a whole tour of Intuit Dome.
Gave us a tour of the Intuit Dome, took us to the wall, was helpful with the Norm Powell interview.
Not just helpful. She made that.
She made it happen.
She made it happen. And Justine was always great, too, when he was here with the Raptors before she went on to take a PR role with the Clippers. She was so nice that, you know, got me started on liking the Clippers. And that led me down the road to pick the Clippers.
Wow.
So, yeah, Justine deserves some blame here.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke with the Jones family. Mark Jones, Paul Jones, Justine Jones.
God, this is like the Jokic brothers.
Honestly, yeah. No.
Yeah, so I'm going to give Justine a 1%.
Okay. Shouts to Justine. This is more of a shout out more than anything else.
No, it's a blame.
Okay.
I mean, the blame ultimately will come to us, which we'll get to on our final one. But like, as long as Justine does not get as much blame as we do, because we definitely deserve more for picking them.
Yeah,
lamestream media.
Lamestream media, as I've covered, you know, they jumped on the Clippers bandwagon, and in turn made me jump on the Clippers bandwagon because I clearly can't make basketball decisions and have opinions on my own. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so honestly, guys, like next year when I'm doing this Clippers thing again, just tell me not to. Like, I'm not doing this again.
You know what? I tried to tell you last year.
I tried to tell you this year. Remember how many times I was joking about you buying the January Clippers?
And but you guys both picked the Clippers too.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. That's why for Hello and Welcome, we should get remainder of the blame pie here. Like,
okay, so how much does Lamestream get here?
Lamestream Media gets 2.5 because that's the speed at which I will listen to their pods from now on.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and whatever's left, Hello and Welcome has to eat it. Yeah.
Wow, we got more blame than Kawhi Leonard.
That's what
fair.
that works out.
That also works as it's 1.8 each if you think about it. We're splitting the blame.
Okay, fair enough. Collectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, this is on me. I feel like every year you like to buy into the Clippers, and I just tell you don't buy into the Clippers. And then this year, I don't know. I end up watching a lot of Clippers game too. Like the way that kind of my nights would work in the regular season was like I would obviously cover the Raptors, do the post game show, and then when that's done, it's usually around 11:30, and I'm like, okay, what's on? And it was just always the Clippers. So I'm like, all right. So I watched a lot of Clippers second halves, and I was like, I'm actually pretty impressed with the Clippers. Now we also saw them in person as well. The media meal. I don't know. I mean, Kawhi was healthy. Like they played well towards the end of the season. Like I bought into all of that, and plus I wanted to root for Kawhi. I wanted to root for Norm. And so I kind of bought in this time. I also honestly thought the pick and roll against Jokic would really, really work a lot better than it did. By the way, shouts to the Nuggets for adjusting. I think the zone coverages that they did, I think Christian Brown's on-ball defense against James Harden got better and better throughout the series. So ultimately, that's my bad, man.
I'm just looking it up now. You had them in 5.
That's what I'm saying.
Will had them in 5. Because Will was confident that the Clippers were clearly the better team.
Right.
I was. And that's why I'm so disappointed in these guys.
Like, I don't feel too bad about taking the blame on this because they did lose in 7. Like, if it's one thing, if, like, the Nuggets just, like, rocked them in, like, 5 games, then we deserve a lot of blame for believing in them. But, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's always going to be tough because anytime and this might be the season that actually shifts it, but anytime I see Kawhi remotely healthy, I'm going to bet on him for a round at least, especially an early round.
Yeah, well, that's no longer the case with all the old stars, man.
I don't think so, yeah.
Well, you know what? You guys are so positive with this. I like the Clippers next year, man.
Oh my
Yes.
god! Oh, when
No, I
they
think-
when they come back with
Someone rewind like a minute to like Alex is being like, "Hey, next time I do this."
You know,
Man.
James and Kawhi are gonna have a long summer to rest. I think the rest is really gonna help them.
oh, Kawhi's gonna rest in the winter
Yeah.
too, buddy. It's not just the summer, man. Summer, fall,
They've
winter.
they've got
spring.
a top five coach, top 5 owner, top 5 front office.
Goodness.
Top
yeah.
one media meal.
Yeah, top 1 medium. I think the big question, the last question of this is like, can I still wear those Hardens? I just this game
You
7
absolutely can.
This game 7 performance just left a really bad taste, and every time I look down at my feet at those shoes, it's all I'm gonna think of.
Well, as long like I mean, are you gonna look down at those feet when you're actually playing basketball? Are you gonna join us on the court? Otherwise,
No,
you're
hell no.
good.
No,
Yeah.
but like
you know how
like,
fans burn jerseys? Are you gonna burn those shoes?
no, but you know what guy has such a bad performance that it actually you're like
Yeah.
I can't wear his shoes.
Right? Yeah.
That's tough. That's
how I
tough.
feel wearing the Trae Youngs. I'm like,
Oh
damn.
my god,
That is tough.
man. Yeah, so I don't know this whole Harden.
What shoes do you wear now?
Well, he wears those or Lamellos.
Oh yeah, no, but this is not to hoop. This is for like I just want to wear these like
lifestyle?
lifestyle.
Right,
Okay,
right,
okay.
right.
So
Gotcha,
like,
gotcha.
but like, I'm honestly on the fence now. Like, I was gonna buy a pair of those.
They're really
in a
nice.
but like, man, this game 7 really swung it for me.
Just
This was
buy them.
all
I
I
get
was
that.
thinking
I
about.
get
I was
that.
like, I
Yeah.
can't buy these shoes now.
No, this is a good point right here. Just get the
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, man.
Yeah, the ant ones are too mainstream. Yeah. That's
Oh,
for
but the James Hardens are mainstream. A Chinese guy wearing James Hardens.
Yo, I have
the
not-
most common thing I've
I have
heard.
not seen a single pair of Hardens in the wild, man.
I have.
Oh man.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I
have not
reported
seen
them to you when we were flying back.
Send those Hardens back to
wow.
Shenzhen.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air right now. So
All
I
right.
can't believe it. Okay. We're
In
this is
in
the blame
summary,
pie.
James Harden gets 50.1% of the blame pie. He wins the majority government here. I guess the next is Lawrence Frank with 15%. Kawhi Leonard with 5, which feels a little unfair. Ty Lue with 10. Hello and welcome with 5.4%. Bogdan Bogdanovic gets 5. Chris Dunn gets 3 because he can't take them. And then 1% shares to Steve Ballmer's Flight, The Wall, Norm Powell, Justine Jones, and then Lame Street Media gets 2.5, just for fun. Clippers blame pie was very fun to do.
Do you want to take away some from Kawhi so we take a little more blame off?
Nah, I'm actually happy with this as is.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright.
yeah, happy with this as is. Clippers blame
Nice
pie.
pie. I'll eat the Harden part of it. The Harden part of it looks
Alex-
delicious.
Actually, that is equivalent to how we share food.
I was gonna say, Alex, that's usually
I don't
how
know,
it is.
Jerome. 51 seems low. 50 seems low. My new thing now, when we're out for dinner with groups, and you know,
my favorite
you gotta
thing.
pass a plate around.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I always go last now because if I go first, it's over.
Yeah, I just
No,
want to
no.
do. I'm gonna do my Alex impression of it. I'm just like, no, you take it. No, you grab some first, man. You grab some first. I'll take care of it afterwards.
Ha ha.
No, Alex won with the plate at dinner is like James Harden with the ball at the end of the shot clock. He's just like, eat it.
No, Harden passes it way more.
Oh man, maybe I should buy the Hardens. It's like a little synchronicity there.
I just buy the Hardens and only wear them to group dinners.
Oh my god. All
One
right.
little fun fact about Chinese men is if you
Wow,
are the
generalization.
if you are the only
Happy
Chinese
Asian
son,
Heritage
it doesn't matter how many siblings you have, you are still have only child syndrome.
Oh, I act like an only child. It's
You act like an only child even though you have a sister. You know?
I
Yeah.
am an only child.
Jerome
so-
is an only child, and
Yeah.
I was an only child.
Jerome
for 10
doesn't
years.
act like an only child. He's so generous and shit.
And shit, that's so nice. This fucking guy.
Yo, still no email from our therapist, man. I thought she
Oh.
back in. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Namaste. What is next?
Oh, I thought you were
On
gonna
the-
finally address
Well,
it.
What is next on the schedule?
I think we have a Houston Rockets blame pie. Is that?
We
that
do
what we're
have a
doing?
Houston Rockets blame pie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This
We
one will be
don't-
pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
so,
let's
we don't
run
gotta
through
go
it.
too deep on this one.
Let's
Rockets,
go with
Rockets, boring game 7. You know, just I don't know, didn't
I
make
don't know.
shots. Terrible offense. Buddy Hield got them. Warriors won with 4 guys.
I don't know how the Warriors won the series, quite frankly. But if we're gonna go with the ingredients for the blame pie, let's put in Jalen Green. And I think we're good, man.
Let's go. Let's do a small pie here. Small ingredients.
Who else we giving blame to?
We're gonna do 3 ingredients.
Dylan Brooks. Dylan
no,
Brooks.
No. Jalen Green, James Harden, to be explained.
What? Okay.
And Enes Esmer. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, Jalen Green, the floor is yours.
I'm happy to give Jalen Green 100% of the blame pie.
I mean, he was bad outside of that one game.
He was bad, man.
But like, I guess you could sprinkle a little for Dylan. Like, Fred was really good towards the end of that series.
Fred was, he was good in the series.
Yeah, no, you know what? I guess Jalen Green is the problem. And this is the conversation around the Rockets is like, how do we upgrade and get an actual score? Well, which is basically how do we replace Jalen Green?
Yeah, I think like he beefed with Draymond. He lost that beef with Draymond. Actually, the whole team beef with Draymond. To be honest, Draymond should be on this blame pod.
No, Draymond wakes up every day and is like, which Street Fighter character am I going to replicate on the court today?
Am I Chun-Li or am I the guy with the long arms,
on
man?
Game 7, I'm going to be Guile.
Yo, why did he just smack Fred VanVleet? I know they're good friends, man.
We be having body movements that we've never seen before on the court, man. Like, what he's just like, what did he do to Fred yesterday, man? Like, what's going on?
So Fred was just like, okay, so Draymond picked up his dribble and he's looking to pass. So Fred just steps closer to try to press him.
Right.
And then Draymond just like smacked Fred in the throat. Like,
yo, there's no more no more bigger discrepancy of me wanting to root for the Warriors because of Steph, but wanting to root against them because of Draymond.
Yeah, but he needs that, you know what I mean?
No, he doesn't. No, Draymond is bad. Like,
no, Draymond is very, very, very good player, man.
Draymond,
I don't care.
Oh my god, man! He just gets to celebrate all of Steph's successes as his own.
That's not true. That is not true. Here's the thing with Draymond. Draymond is a player who is not great at the technicals of the sport, but knows how to play basketball more.
I would argue he's fantastic at the technicals.
That's very good.
No, he's smart. He's he knows how to toe the line. He's a very smart player. We know what he's capable of doing on the court, but all of this extra stuff is just unnecessary.
The thing is, like, Jaylen Green, 1,000,000 times more talented than Draymond Green. Like, not even close. Like, we're going green for green. Give me Jalen for talent. Oh, but Draymond knows how to. If you put Draymond's brain in Jalen Green's body, Jalen Green would be one of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
who also punches people, by the way. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the part of the brain you're also getting.
God, but yeah. So okay, fine. Let's give Jalen Green however many percentages you want. Yeah.
I mean, if Enes Esmer's on this list. Anyway, Jalen Green, I'm not gonna lie, he getting like 100% on this play.
Okay, let's give him 99. Yeah.
Okay, 99% of blame pie.
Yeah,
but I'm happy to adjust. We
good.
This thing looks nuts.
James Harden. So this is the 5th time that Steph Curry's Warriors have knocked the Rockets out of the playoffs, and you know the previous iterations were James Harden's Rockets.
Yes,
and I think there was just a stink around the organization of having to carry that burden,
right.
of the Rockets being owned by the Warriors.
I'm crying at Jerome's desperate attempt to try to get James Harden to appear on this extremely stupid play.
So James Harden created this history of the Warriors beating the Rockets and the burden. So I think James has to take 1% here. Yeah.
Okay, let's take 1% off Jalen Green. Give him 98%. And give James Harden 1%. Maybe this way he'll show up on the graph.
Yeah. So
this is the worst graph of all time.
Enes Esmer.
Yeah, why is he on this one?
I don't think he'll mind me sharing this now that the bet is over. So he made a bet earlier this year for the Knicks and Rockets to make the finals. And you know, I'm super supportive of Enes, you know, 2-time CSA more to come award winner.
Ooh.
And I think his positivity towards the Rockets pushed me to pick the Rockets as well in the first round. Jerome and I had the Rockets in 7. we were super excited about this yesterday because the first round standings were really close between us to be revealed later.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so Ennis got to take 1% of the blame here.
All right, NSS, we're getting 1% of the blame, but we're giving 98% of the blame pie to Jalen Green, 1% to James Harden, and 1% to NSS. Quite frankly, I think actually the one thing I actually would have liked to blame too is the Houston Rockets fans. I didn't like how many fans were leaving the building. Like literally when the final buzzer sounded, it felt like there was like maybe 50% of people in there. And I'm not saying that like you need to, like whatever, like live your life, man. But like, this Houston Rockets team fought to be the number 2 seed. No one was expecting that. This is like their most successful season by far since the James Harden era. They've rebounded. They have one of the best futures in the league just based on the young players. You got Amin Thompson, you got Şengün, you got Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr. Like, you know, Reed Shepard didn't even play. Maybe he can get into the rotation eventually. You know what I mean? Jalen Green maybe still has some trade value, although I don't know based on this series. Regardless, it's a young team that fought a former championship team all the way to Game 7. Fought back from 3-1. They could have easily folded. Instead, they actually came back and forced a Game 7. Like, if any team deserves a standing ovation at the end, just for their appreciation for what they did in this season.
Okay, Rihanna.
No, seriously, like not to make everything about Raptors, because that's probably the number one most annoying thing about Raptor fans online is just like how we relate everything to Toronto, like no matter what.
No comment.
But like, when I think back to that 2016 season, it's one of my favorite seasons. And, you know, you had that infamous moment where LeBron's like, Dortz, can you believe this? We beat them by 50 points, and these fans, man, are all still here clapping. Like,
look at these losers. Look at these losers.
Look at what I did to these guys. Are they still clapping? And, like, no, but that's what this team deserved, man. They deserve, like, some sort of, like, appreciation. So I'm not even going to give them. That's like a separate on this. I'm going to order some garlic knots. The garlic knots of Houston Rockets fans abandoning their team, man.
Do you think Tillman Fertitta would ever fly out 120 fans on the road? Because he's notoriously known to be
a
little cheap. Yeah.
Tillman Fertitta probably serving Jalen Green blame pies at his restaurants.
Oh my god! Also, who is Houston's super fan? Do they have a super fan? Or do they have a celeb that roots for them? Because I'm just trying to think. I know nothing about the. Really? No, not the dream. Yeah, because when you think of the Houston fan base, no one comes to mind.
Yeah, one of the things too is just like maybe
it might be Travis Scott, which would explain why coming out of the timeout, you and I, a song that we are very used to hearing was Fiend.
Oh my god!
Over and over, the theme song for WrestleMania this year.
What's the theme song?
That's the song that you like, I think. Yeah.
Oh, Upper Echelon?
Fiend.
Oh, Fiend? Oh,
yeah.
Fiend. Yeah, all right.
What happened at hip hop?
Fiend sounds like you guys doing cricket sounds.
Oh my god. All right, so nice and easy blame pie. I agree with you. The Rockets had a great season.
Yeah.
This series reminded me a lot of the Warriors Kings from a couple of years ago. It's credit to the Warriors, man, going up against a young team and then pulling out in 7. Right. Just like they did a few years ago.
And they get physically stomped by Draymond.
It's just the whole thing, man.
Man. I want Draymond to show up in like kung fu movies, man. You know how like back in the day you would get like Kareem would show up in like Enter the Dragon or whatever.
I do not want Draymond to show up. In
I need Draymond Green to be in like a Jackie Chan movie.
I see enough Draymond, man. This guy gonna be on TNT, gonna be on NBC.
I don't want to be trouble.
He's gonna be on everything, man. All right, so first round is wrapped up. Second round started before first round finish. What are you doing, Adam Silver?
Yeah, what's going on? That was weird.
It's a sequencing thing, man. Like, no one's watching. Who's trying to watch a game 1 before a game 7, man? But yeah, on to the second round. So we are going to be making our round 2 predictions. So for those that might remember, in the first round, what we did was we each made our picks, and then for each series that we got right, it was 2 points. If you got the number of games right, it was a bonus point, and then we each picked a lock to double our points. So Will is, you guys don't need to audit this, but, I only checked once, but Will is up right now with 16 points.
Ball knower.
Jerome is at 15 points, thanks to him locking the Wolves.
Yo, that was clutch.
Oh, yeah.
And I am at 14, drawing last because I locked the Clippers. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
So we are going to make our second round picks now. So let's start in the West with Thunder, Nuggets. It's the 2 MVP candidates. Russell Westbrook's homecoming. It's the 72-14 Thunder.
Oh my god.
I'm taking the Thunder in 5. I don't think this is gonna be close.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of Denver. Because I thought so highly of what the Clippers could do, and then the Clippers ultimately flamed out. But I want to give Denver a lot of credit for figuring their way out, right? Like they do have this incredible problem solving ability, like you mentioned. Like they have such a dominant, steadying force. Like you never have to worry about their offense because it's like Jamal and Jokic are gonna play 2-man game. That alone is going to cause so much stress, and then everyone knows where to be. Aaron Gordon's, near the basket, or he's shooting a corner 3, or he's getting an offensive rebound, or Michael Porter Jr. is like spotting up for 3, or cutting and curling around getting to the basket. Christian Brown has like seamlessly integrated into the team, and I feel like he's almost he doesn't shoot the 3 as much as like a KCP did, but then I feel like Christian Brown just doesn't miss, like especially in fourth quarters, like he's always knocking down a big 3. Man.
Yeah.
Big shot Brown. That's not a thing. By the way, have you seen Christian Brown's TikToks from back in the day? Those are.
No, I only look at TikToks Jerome sends me.
Yeah, Christian Brown. The long and short of it is Christian Brown. He would have not been out of place if he went to Western University, for example. Like he's like a Western kid. Is what Christian Brown is.
Okay.
Yeah. Grady Dick might also be a Western kid too. Actually, honestly, Kansas might just be the Western of the United States. Actually, so I think
white.
No, it's like a specific type. Anyway, I think it's the culture too. But in any case, I'm still gonna pick OKC, but I'm gonna get them in 7 games. It's either 7 or 6 really, because 6 would be kind of nice too. But
okay, what Jerome?
I'll give him 6. I'll give him 6. I'll give him 6.
Give me Nuggets in 7.
Wow!
I don't no, like this isn't remotely as confident as I was, and I wasn't even that confident about the Wolves pick. I'm gonna rely on very probably not smart intangibles of the Nuggets. Look pretty good, like championship season good. Obviously different pieces. They, you kind of saw it like with the Warriors and the Rockets, where I think the Rockets were a better team, but the Warriors just had dudes and just knew how to win in the playoffs. And especially, it was like, I mean, watching Will would even put the series to 7. I was like, if I could think of it in any way as a coin flip, I might give the edge to the Nuggets at that point.
My question is, 2 things. Number one, for the Nuggets, how does Jamal Murray handle the constant harassing by Lou Dort and Alex Caruso?
Oh my God, so many Canadians in this series. Man.
Oh, by the way, it's the Battle of Canada too, because I'm not saying that like Jamal is gonna be better than Shea, because I think Shea is clearly a better basketball player.
But he was in the mix before Shea really took off.
But Jamal has a championship. Jamal has 6 40-point games now in the playoffs. I don't know if Shea has one. Big
game Maul.
Yeah. Right.
We maybe got to work with a different nickname for Jamal, but
I'm with you though. Shay's had an incredible season. Possible front runner for MVP, but you gotta step up in this series, man. Some of those shooting stats sometimes don't look so good in the playoffs.
Well, I think one of the things I was watching the first round, and they didn't really have issues with Memphis. Like they played some, they obviously had like the 29-point comeback in Game 3, and then they still played it close in Game 4, but my thing was watching that, it was just like, Shea put a little too much ISO. It's hard to nitpick an MVP's game, and a lot of his game is isolation, but like, it just didn't feel like, I don't know, the offense looked more free-flowing when he wasn't in control, which I should never really say about an MVP level player. So I actually would like Shea to play or pick his spots just a little bit better.
Yeah, narratively, it's a very classic NBA story, but if my prediction, which again, not very confident about, but also in this competitiveness of this, that's like how I can swing this bracket by like taking my pick.
Listen, it's Nuggets,
this is
it's
a Price is
Jokic.
Right strategy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like it is.
But it's also
Jokic.
like it's a Jokic maybe doing the you can have the regular season MVP. I'll take the series.
Yeah. No, and I think
That's kind of fire.
Westbrook is going to be key in this series too, because he's literally their only guy off the bench.
Westbrook is Russian roulette, man.
That can give them anything. But
Oh no!
I swear to God, if I just suddenly back the Thunder and then Jerome gets the Nuggets pick, I'm gonna crash out.
Yeah.
Oh no!
What's our forfeit? Like what does the winner get? What does the loser?
Oh yeah,
I guess there's two losers.
We haven't really thought about this.
We
Yeah.
might just have to pay the other person's tariffs for a month or something.
Oh, I need to win this. I need to win this. It'll be good for the whole show. Don't worry.
Oh no!
I need this so bad. All right, so those are picks for Thunder Nuggets. The other series, very interesting too in the West. Warriors, Wolves. Man, so many storylines.
6-7 matchup. That's kind of nuts to look at.
Yeah, so what is this, man? Poker game? So we got Jimmy Butler going back to Minnesota.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got Draymond versus Rudy Gobert. What else we got? We got so many storylines for this.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like Steph versus Rudy is like Steph has embarrassed Rudy a couple of times. You know that Utah Jazz Rudy.
Yeah,
Steph Curry.
Even Ant versus Draymond, like I know they've been chirping a little bit too in previous matchups. I'm really excited about this one. The Wolves were really impressive in round one. Shouts to Jerome for the lock on the Wolves pick. And yeah, I think the Wolves are the better team. I think the Wolves are the better team.
Yeah.
And even though the Warriors got past the Rockets, I really was not that impressed with the Warriors. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Wolves in 6.
I think we're all picking the Wolves in this one, unless Jerome's zagging again.
Yeah. No. I'm Wolves in 6.
Yeah. Minnesota has like so much size. I think I'm Minnesota in 5, mostly because of how much Golden State got tired out by this series. Like the Warriors look like they're. It's weird because the Warriors obviously are fundamentally unique because Steph is fundamentally unique, but sometimes I watch them, I'm just like, man, this is smoke and mirrors, man. Like, what do you mean Steph is running Gary Payton, Gary Payton pick and rolls, and it's working? Doesn't make any sense. Even in the games where, and I know Houston's very good offensively and everything like that, or defensively, but the Warriors also feel like they can't score a lot. Like Jimmy Butler will like just pass up shots like a lot. Draymond can, I mean, he's not even hot and cold. He's just mostly cold. And then Steph can be like on or off, but like he has to do so much for them that it just feels a little bit unsustainable. I'm going to back the young legs here and the size of Minnesota. Yeah. The question is how much of Minnesota's size can they keep on the floor, because Steph obviously will stretch it out a lot. I think what Chris Finch needs to do is kind of what Ime Udoka did over the course of the series, and just like, you know what, if I got 2 centers out there, that's okay. Like I'm just going to have to live with it. And I'm going to have to like bet on my advantage being better than your advantage. Because I feel like the Warriors have always like coaxed teams into playing small. Like bigger teams, they'll be like, we're gonna make you smaller because of how much shooting we have. But I don't feel like, especially the level of shooting that they have now, outside of Steph, and I suppose Game 7 Buddy Hield, like I think it's actually advantageous for teams to try to keep as many bigs on the floor against the Warriors, and then try to impose their physicality and win possessions that way.
Yeah, sound like ball don't stop.
Yeah, I think it's another big series for Julius Randle. I think if he can continue what he did in the first round, like I think the Wolves will handle the Warriors pretty easily here. And then the Draymond can go on TNT again in the conference finals and talk about Rudy Gobert.
Oh man! Speaking of Draymond, Rudy Gobert, I feel like since we all picked Minnesota in this series, I feel like the tiebreaker should be over under how many technicals / flagrants does Draymond commit in this series. I'm going to set the line at 3.5.
I'm going to take under. I feel like I think he's like 1 flagrant away from being suspended.
Oh, that would work in your favor then. Because if he gets suspended, then
he's
it
approaching
removes
like
a game.
Playoff. Yeah.
Already?
I think he's approaching playoff suspensions. Yeah.
How do you do that in just 1 round, man?
Well, you see what he was doing? Yeah. This guy was E. Honda, Guile, Dawson.
Yeah.
M. Bison.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, not the Psycho Crusher.
So those are our picks. And then in the East, starting tonight, Celtics and the Knicks. I was not impressed by the Knicks in the first round. And I almost feel like, Jalen Brunson was amazing in the clutch. I almost feel like the Knicks, based on their collection of players, they're not getting the best version of the team that they could have. Like,
They're
it's
definitely
just
not.
always Jalen Brunson. So
It
why
is,
did you
yeah.
make all those moves to get all these other guys like Cat to stretch the floor and 5 picks for Mikal Bridges? Like, I don't feel like the team itself is being fully utilized to its capability. And I think that's
Yeah.
going to be a problem like in this series.
Do you think they get a coaching change though?
Yeah, I don't know. Tibbs might be on that hot seat, man.
Hmm.
Because I don't know. So I don't think this is particularly close. I don't know if Boston's dealing with any injuries, but if they're fully healthy, I pick Boston in 5 here.
Yeah, I got Boston at 5 as well. Regular season wise, not that the regular season dictates the playoffs entirely, but I've seen a lot. Like, these were all premium games that they end up playing against each other, and the Celtics just washed them. Beat them 4-0 in the regular season. I think, if you look at the actual games that they played against each other, Boston won the first meeting. This was opening night, 132-109. Right, that was literally the opening night matchup on TNT.
Spanked.
Destroyed. February 8th, they played each other, 131-104 for Boston. This is in New York.
Namaste.
February 23rd, they play after the All-Star break, 118-105 for the Celtics. And then the most recent matchup, April 8th. So the Knicks are closing the gap. The Knicks lose in overtime, 119-117. This is the game where Jaylen Brown, I think, he's left the game with the knee issue. Didn't really come back.
This is when Tatum cooked Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, Tatum cooked Mikal Bridges. Tatum had what do you have in this game? It felt like 40 something.
Yo, Tatum was really good in that first round, man. I hate to say.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah.
32 for Tatum. Yeah.
Tatum's looking good in these playoffs, man.
The thing is, it feels more fun to slander Tatum than root for Tatum, but he's just undeniably really good, man.
Yeah.
There's a chance where Tatum
Yeah.
ends up having a better career than Kevin Durant.
Damn.
Ooh.
Okay, Bill. I gotta think about that one, Bill.
Okay,
This is such a Bill Simmons.
We don't need to make the case right now, but yeah, that's
guys,
You think he
Something to
could be
think about.
top 4 or top 7 of all
Look,
time?
oh gosh.
you won't fear Tatum the way you would fear Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Well,
But-
it's a big sliding
Right.
doors moment if you think
Yeah.
about KD could have gone to the Celtics in 2016. Yeah, he took a
Shouts to
meeting.
my boy, man.
Took
Shouts
a
to my
meeting
boy
in the
Oh,
Tatum.
nice.
Hamptons. He took a meeting in the Hamptons, so.
The issue with I mean, look, Tatum already has a championship by age 26. Durant
Holy
doesn't.
shit, Bill.
Tatum doesn't have an MVP. Durant obviously gets one, but there's a chance where Tatum gets one. It just doesn't happen in the Jokic era, really.
Tatum's been benched in the Olympics. KD's the best Olympian.
We talking NBA, man. Come on. I'm just saying. I
It's
would.
the
I would.
Basketball Hall of Fame. If you want to do credentials, come on, man.
Kevin Durant is a better player than Jason Tatum. There's no doubt.
Yo,
But I
post
do
this and
think.
tag KD, man. Let's get some.
I think
streaks
career
for
wise,
Elo.
I think Tatum really has a chance to surpass him, which is saying a lot. But
That's an insane thing to say, but I see your point.
He's a really
Yeah.
great player, man. Yeah.
I mean, he at this point, for that to be really true, he needs MVP and Finals MVP,
Yeah,
or at
plus,
least one of the two.
No, no,
KD
here's
was
what I do. I'm
arguably
not gonna lie, yeah.
arguably like a top 2 player at one point in the league. Like Tatum's
Yeah.
got to get there too.
You could maybe squeeze him top 3.
I think that's where it kind
Pyramid
of falls
time.
apart. Yeah. I think if anything, there's this element of just making a case for you want to say Tatum's underrated or anything like that, or should be in the conversation. But KD was definitively top 1, 2 for a good period.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, when was KD the top 1 player in the league?
Oh, sorry, top 2, 3. There. Yeah. I mean, he's
All right,
got that MVP.
so
anyway,
Are you picking?
I have.
Yeah,
I do have. Yeah, I'm not being cute about
Tatum
it.
should not be the face of the league, though. I'm not gonna lie. Tatum, I don't know.
There you go.
The NBA will
the
be
National
tough.
Boring Association.
No. I have the Celtics in 6.
Nice.
Mostly, yeah. This one I think is just again another trying to get a couple of points in the bracket move.
I like that
because I can't pit them in a sweep, but I guess I feel better about 6. So I'm just
like
gonna.
that.
Yeah, we'll see.
So right now on Betway, one of my favorite bets in the playoffs is to pick the exact number of games that a team is going to win the series in, and Celtics to win in 5 over the Knicks is 2.85.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't understand odds. Are those good or bad odds?
Those are pretty good odds.
Okay.
But you have to hit exact, obviously. So I've actually placed a few bets on the second round. I basically bet all my picks.
Nice, you should. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Do you need to borrow like $2 or anything?
it's a fun way. It's a fun way to follow the series too. So I took the Knicks over the Pistons in 6 in the first round, and it was fun to root for the Pistons in Game 5 and then the Knicks in Game 6. So yeah, Boston to win the series in 5, 2.85 odd on Betway. Make sure you hit the QR code below to check out all your basketball betting odds on Betway. Okay, last series, which has already started, Adam Silver.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird.
That's
the
crazy.
the Cavs.
Ooh, not everyone in the crowd wearing Dilf shirts. That was
It's
tough.
it's diff here.
It's Dilf there.
Versus the Yes Sirs, the Pacers. You know, I'm
Oh man, great matchup.
I'm a honest, integral man. So like, if I were to pick after Game 1, I would definitely take Pacers.
I
in
knew
7.
I knew you did this because of that reason.
But
I
I'm
knew-
honorable.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, I had the Cavs in 6 before I found out Darius Garland's big toe is apparently gangrene right now or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, what's
so-
going on?
Not
man?
Jalen Green.
yeah, happy Asian Heritage Month, Darius Garland.
He's celebrating for sure.
So I'm going with Cavs in 6 because that was my pick pre-game 1.
Was there? Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah.
how about you? What do you got,
Unlike
Will?
unlike Will, who probably took the game 1 result and ran with it.
Yeah, I changed up, man. Pacers in 7, baby.
Did you have Pacers in 7?
Yeah, honestly, I actually do like the Pacers a little bit more in this series. Number one, because of health. I think Garland does add a creativity element to the Cavs that, quite frankly, like they miss him, man. I mean, he's an all-star player. Like, come on now. Like, you don't get into clutch parties for nothing. But like, well, actually, if you're a clutch client, you definitely just get in. But in any case, I think that it's a lot better when they have 3 of these guys. Like Ty Jerome still played decent. I mean, I think he had like 20 points and 8 of 20 shooting. Like that's not bad in Game 1. But like, I don't know. It hits a lot harder when Ty Jerome's like cooking off the bench.
Yeah,
And
that was
there's
a
that
lot
extra
of Ty
punch.
Jerome in Game 1, man.
There was a lot of Ty Jerome.
Never
games.
get enough Jerome, to be
Oh,
honest.
he was shooting like Jerome. 20 shots.
That's it.
I feel like with Mitchell's still pretty great, but at the same time, it feels like a lot of what Mitchell does is largely his own scoring. I don't think Indiana. I mean, the issue with Indiana, I feel like in this series is I don't know if they can really guard against how much like interior presence. Like Mobley, I thought he had his way in Game 1. There's still obviously the lobs of Jared Allen, although those become a lot more activated when you have Garland. But at the same time, though, I don't feel like the Cavs can really guard Indiana. Like that was the takeaway I had was like, I mean, Indiana was hot from 3. Everyone was shooting it great, but like part of what makes Indiana so dangerous is like how many guys on that team have the green light, man. Like you can't just key in on one guy. Like obviously Pascal and Tyrese Halliburton are their top 2, but Miles Turner has a green light. This guy's hitting buzzer beaters. When TJ McConnell comes in off the bench, he's got a green light to snake a pick and roll or to like Nash the pick and roll, go underneath to shoot a little turnaround jumper. Andrew Nembhard is like one of the greatest playoff risers in the league right now. Him and Jamal Murray basically.
Yo, shout out to the Nem Dog. We gotta do a follow-up interview this summer.
We absolutely.
Yo,
need
I
to.
was watching
Yeah.
this game and I just shot Nemhard's trainer a message being like, you're like this is incredible, man. This is just
Glazer.
like, no, I actually had
Playoff Glazer.
I was so impressed with Nemhard. I was just like, yo, like this is incredible work.
Portland Will Glazers.
Damn, that would be a sick jersey actually. But like, yeah, there's all these guys, man. Like Aaron Nesmith came in, knocked down big shots. Benedict Mathurin, like they just have so many guys. Opie Toppin's like low-key pretty good now. I
Yeah,
mean,
man, I
defensively
love
he doesn't
Obi.
guard anybody, but Obi like he scores, man.
I
hits
I
the
think the
threes.
Pacers have been the most pleasantly surprising team in these playoffs. I think you see I think they've raised their ceiling on what they can do.
It feels like they're figuring it out after a couple of stabs
Yeah.
at the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think Will, you were talking about in the first round, like a lot of people just don't buy into the Pacers, and I think you're starting to see people buy in because they see just the amount of talent on the team and just the pace and the way that they play. It forces other teams to adjust to them. And I think Garland is a huge factor in this series, and I would not be shocked if the Pacers won. Like they look really good right now.
Yeah,
I got Pacers in 6. I felt that Dupree, but obviously it looks a little better with the one
Take
win.
your word for it.
Yeah. Mine lacks all the integrity of Alex's pick.
Damn it, man! I should have switched to the Pacers.
That might be a worse crash out if you don't get it than like if my Nuggets win. Like that might just be like a
God damn it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so we're gonna adjust our locks. So the lock will double your points. Because
Sure.
in the
Okay.
first round there was no rule, so Will's just like, yeah, Boston.
That's so crazy.
meanwhile,
I like
Jerome,
Boston and OKC, like shameless, man.
Oh man.
Jerome and I just wanted our grinds to be harder, and we took the Wolves and Clippers.
Yo,
Yeah.
Congrats,
worked out for
Jerome.
Jerome, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm last in the standings, I get
Yeah,
to
you get the
draft
first pick. I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm.
So who am I gonna take? I'm gonna lock in Boston over the Knicks in 5.
That's a good one.
Boring.
So
But yeah,
that's off the board. That's
That is
off
That's
that
off
is
the
the
board.
most
Okay, got
guaranteed.
it.
Yeah, so
that is the most
Jerome
guaranteed.
is next. Jerome is in second. Jerome, who's your lock? Don't lock the Nuggets. I'll crash out.
I'm locking the Nuggets.
Ah, that's fire.
Okay.
That's fire.
So you are left with either the Pacers or Warriors Wolves.
Man.
Take your Pacers.
None
bro.
are guarantees for you,
Take,
which
take
is
your
yeah.
Pacers, bro.
I think Wolves is a little better. What would you pick between those two, Alex? Or we'll wait for Will to make his
Yeah.
pick first. Yeah.
I'll probably take the Wolves.
I'm lucky in OKC.
No, you can't because he drafted the
I took the series.
Yeah,
But-
you can only draft the other series.
Why not? Though? I'm drafting a different outcome.
No. You can only draft the other.
Wait,
Series.
That actually kind of is a good like move
That's-
that way,
that's-
just to take
I'm
away
try-
that option.
I'm
Okay,
trying-
okay.
I'm trying to-
I've overruled myself. You're
This is the
taking
big
OKC.
short over here, man.
Okay.
Oh,
you're
okay,
taking
what?
OKC.
I'm seeing some subprime mortgages being mixed in
Damn,
together with
man.
that Eric
Oh my
Spoelstra looking
goodness.
character.
You guys over here battling while I just have Boston. It's so boring.
Come on, man.
Yo, I feel so
Oh, man.
left out right now.
Ooh, I'm Christian Bale right now in that boardroom with board shorts on, man.
It's
Come
also
on,
not even
man.
American Psycho.
Ooh.
So you're locking OKC.
Mhm.
Okay,
You got OKC in how many games?
Does the lock have to apply to the exact number of games too?
No. But
No,
you
no,
got-
no, no,
you
I
no.
got
bonus-
OKC in 7, but
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You got OKC in 7. Denver.
I got
in
Nuggets in
7.
7. Yeah.
And go Boston.
Go Boston.
It's
Man,
different here.
The way you fell off on the second round, that you're like,
Yo,
gotta lock in Boston.
if it's a
Yo.
Cavs like Celtics matchup in the Eastern Conference Finals, is it? It's different here versus
Oh
the
yeah.
Oh
diff.
my
It's so
gosh.
stupid.
Yo, diff here versus different here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our picks.
Yeah. We're gonna take before we get to our
Yes,
last few
tangerine,
items, let's
yeah.
take a tangerine break in between here before
Oh, yeah,
we get
let's
to your
go.
last. So
The chat's
now
been
it's-
on fire today, man.
Yeah, now it's time for the Tangerine Fan Inbox. Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, foundational partner of WNBA Canada and NBA Canada. And of course, they're not just fans of basketball, they're fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who will obsess over what percentage of the blame pie James Harden deserves. If you're hearing this, there's no doubting your commitment. Fans like you will make this game great. So while Alex tries to perfect his Kawhi laugh, can I get that, Alex? Thank you. Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the court to the stands and celebrating the way Raptors fans support their team because this is how we fan. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball.
Not bad.
All right. Gathered a couple of comments here just to mix it up. First off, as a Raptor fan watching Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and OG in the playoffs killing it, it just doesn't seem right. How do you guys feel about that?
So I've been seeing the sentiment a lot, and obviously I share a lot of this too. But I want to say that two things can be absolutely true. Number one, it does not feel great to see all these guys cooking for other teams. Like, I'm happy for them, but it's very bittersweet because I think a lot of these guys, I think of them as Raptors. But the second thing that's true is these guys also did not work well together when they were here.
Right.
So, like, as much as we can look back on that whole era, and honestly, it's like a big inflection point of like, why didn't it work out? Was it coaching? Was it team chemistry? Was it just like guys were not in the right roles, or just guys weren't ready? Whatever. Like, I think ultimately that the second thing that's true is that they didn't really play that great together. Outside of that one year, which they did win 48 games, but it did feel like they were kind of like squeezing blood from a stone in every game that one. So yeah, it's hard to sort of hold both of those things together at the same time. It is one of those enduring debates we'll always have. Like there was obviously the KD for Scottie Barnes potential that could have been there. Of course, that would have required more pieces than just Scottie going back and forth. I don't know. There was a whole thing, but in any case, my big takeaway from that whole thing was just in addition to the chemistry not being great, it's like part of the reason the chemistry wasn't great was they just didn't have a definitive number one. And if any of those guys, whether it was Siakam, whether it was Fred, whether it was Scottie, I mean, OG was never going to be a number one. But like, if any of those guys emerged as a true cut number one and everyone respected that, then you wouldn't have had those hierarchy issues. You wouldn't have had those chemistry issues. You wouldn't have the issues with guys accepting the role. The issue is the Raptors never had a number one guy. The Raptors had a great supporting cast, and those guys continue to be great on other teams. But that's why this whole thing didn't work out. So,
yeah. So now we've gotten two samples of it. For Kawhi Leonard, who are you picking between playoff P versus Game 7 James Harden?
Ooh, man.
I'm gonna go with Game 7 Harden because at least James can get you to more Game 7s than P, I think.
Well, hold on now. Playoff P, when we talk about Indiana, like we're talking about a decade back.
We're talking Roy Hibbert hours.
We talking Roy Hibbert, Danny Granger.
I think
Jeff
we're talking
Teague.
post Gatorade commercial playoff P.
Yeah, we talking George Hill with David West. You know what I mean? Who else is coming off that bench, man? Tyler Hansbrough.
Oh my God.
Yam Mahimni. That era, I don't know, man. Paul George from that era was like going band for band with LeBron until Game 7s, which was kind of nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still taking my guy James. I like his sneakers better too. So
some of the early Paul George sneakers were nice, but yeah.
I mean, I have those.
they
I
just
got the
dropped.
worst sneaker collection of all time. I'm hooping with the Harden threes. I'm hooping with the Paul George threes, the
Oh
Trae
my
Young
God.
threes. Yo, nasty,
Oh my God.
nasty combinations, man.
Oh my gosh.
Not a
Oh
single
yeah,
pair of Kobe's.
someone did mention in the chat. Paul George did lead the Clippers to the conference finals. So I don't want to give PG any credit.
Yeah.
No, totally fair. All right. Up next. This
What
is
do you
a
do in
really
those
fair
conference
comment.
finals, though?
To Will's comment about Kawhi hitting a cap at a certain point, Kawhi like Alex and Jerome when Will trying to keep the 2-hour Raptors pod going.
There you go. there you go.
And,
Alex is like, I've gotten my jokes in for the day. Can we wrap it up?
Yeah, I forgot to take my meds. Anyways, yeah, go on.
all right, onward.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm
Not
gonna take my meds before I forget. You guys
All
go.
right, you do your thing. No, fair.
Okay.
Respect to that.
You even turn his camera off.
We'll remove
This
him for
is
the
what
time being.
no. This is what's been behind Alex's. No, let's add him to the stage. Hold on. We never get to see his full setup.
It's there. He's back.
What's going on? Why are you now in 280p?
I think it's gonna get back in there in a second.
This guy's playoff P right now.
He's slowly getting back his resolution.
He's at like 480 right now.
All right.
This is like watching YouTube in 2013.
YouTube was around in 2013.
I'm watching. That's what did the Fox say basically.
Oh yeah, Jaylen Green is a half Asian.
Yeah. Jaylen Green getting 100%
Filipino.
during AAPI Heritage Month of the blame pie is pretty rough. I guess we can apologize for that. All right.
Jerome did ask me at one point, like, what's going on with Jalen Green? And I said, it's
It's his Filipino side.
Oh my God.
shouts out Filipino hoopers, man. You're all elite, but you're all Jalen Green too, by the way. Let's
There's
be real.
there's a lot more Asians than we think in the NBA. I guess Rui. Who else is there? Are there any other half Asians in the NBA?
Oh, your boy Jalen Williams, man.
Oh yeah, is he
he's like
actually
half
half Asian?
He is.
He's like
yeah.
one. I don't know what the percentage is. I
Yeah.
think Nate Robinson apparently was also part
Yo,
Asian.
when I'm having a bad day, I just pull up Asian Jalen Williams. He just makes me laugh. He's so good.
By the way, he's probably gonna guard a lot of Jokic in this series.
Oh, let's go, man.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to feel queasy about that. OKC at 7, sir. I don't feel so good.
All right.
Wait, Brunson? No, hold on. Brunson?
I think Brunson just maybe looks Asian.
I also just like that the person who it's either an answer or it's just the fact that their name is Jalen, so they just have it on screen to say Jalen Brunson.
Someone said the AI overview for Jalen Brunson Asian is no, Jalen Brunson is not Asian.
Yo, have you seen those? Ads for Google in these NBA games where they're like, "Oh, searches for Ty Lue's record in Game 7 has gone up 400%."
Oh yeah.
They gotta do one where it's like searches for Jalen Williams Asian.
There was like searches for Amin Thompson going up, and I'm like, now they're just lying.
Yeah,
No.
no, those are lies, man.
The
Those
funny
have
thing
to
is
be
they only show the positive searches, but they
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
show like James Harden Game 7 stats up 718%.
This is like whatever, like these things TV shows like post tweets and stuff. It's always like, Odell
Well-
Beckham Jr., go Lakers.
WWE for the longest time would just be like hashtag WWE Raw trending all across
Oh
the
my
world.
God.
Yeah, top
Yeah.
trending hashtag. Okay, up next. All right, so we got Warriors Wolves. Specifically in the matchup, who are you rooting for here between Ant and Gobert versus Steph and Draymond? I already know Will's answer, but what do you got, Alex?
Going with Ant and RFK Jr.'s supporter Rudy Gobert.
All right.
Oh
right.
my
Yeah.
god.
We have to put our opinions on health aside for this.
All right.
Apparently we got the White House Alex Wong on this call.
Oh no. Will, you got? I'm assuming Steph and Draymond.
I'm always rooting for Steph and Draymond. I mean,
All our
Steph-
chats, like every time, this is our chats outside of asking what's up with Jalen Green, is me saying, how can Draymond get away with this? And then Will just always replying, that's my GOAT.
Yeah,
Yo,
no,
he's
like,
my goat, man.
toxicity is good. Yeah.
no, if I can play basketball freely or sports freely, I'd be Draymond. Like
Oh, you get there.
not good at the sports themselves, but just like incredibly disruptive.
Man, just,
There's,
just nurse your damn ankle.
There's at least two occasions I can think of when we work up to that moment and playing against each other. Will go for a hard foul on me and then tell me to my face, that's a fucking foul.
That's right,
Oh
man.
my god.
But at least I don't hit you in the face like Draymond.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys see China said that they have proof that COVID started in the U.S.
What kind of pod you trying to start here?
No, because speaking of Rudy Gobert,
Which Alex Wong is talking to us right now?
Oh my
not
god.
Alex Nelson Wong.
Oh, my
Listen, the
God.
number one thing people at least do not want to hear about is three Chinese guys passing the blame on COVID. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you the optics are not good. I might even believe you, but the optics not good, man.
Asian
Just-
Heritage Month is going terribly.
Ooh, it's not good, man. It's not
Oh,
good. I don't want to
man.
step into this.
It was cuter when we were just saying where clothes were made from.
Oh man. Ooh man.
All right,
Yeah,
up next.
this might be the second most dangerous topic that we could possibly talk about on this show, and we know what number one is.
All right. Here's a light topic. Andrew
Yes, thank
Nemhard
God.
should be a Raptor.
Oh, for sure.
Could we have drafted him?
Huh?
Was he available when we had a pick?
So this relates back to the Thad Young trade because the
we gave
Raptors
away the
infamously traded Thad Young to the San Antonio Spurs and forced Thad Young to go through customs. One of the worst trades of all, a lose-lose trade if ever was one. No, but what happened was, okay, so the Raptors traded and signed a trader for Kyle Lowry and sent him to Miami. This is the Raptors probably could have got a better deal for Kyle, but they were trying to respect his wishes. This is at a time where the dominant narrative around Masai was like, look how he treated DeMar. Even though they won a championship, it was still like a lot of like, look how he treated DeMar. So when it came down to Kyle's chance to exit the organization, they were like, we want to treat Kyle with the best possible respect, which honestly he deserves, right?
Absolutely.
So Kyle decides, you know what? I've just played the year in Tampa. I've been driving my Lamborghinis down here. It's like, this is great. Maybe I should just stay in Florida. So he decides to go to Miami in free agency. The Raptors facilitate this with a sign-in trade, which honestly Miami didn't necessarily even need to do, but the Raptors got back Precious. Now, of course, Masai had the infamous quote about Precious was like, finally, you're mine now, which is very funny. Shouts to Vivek for the question, by the way. That was his question to Masai. But that was the main goal. The thing is, because of the sign and trade, they got to take back some shit in return. They get Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic starts burning a hole in their pocket because he's like, in the offseason, before he even shows up, he's like, I got higher ambitions. I'm not trying to play for the Raps. At that point, the Raptors were coming off of Tampa, so they were like a, 30-win team. Like, I totally understand what he was saying, but at the same time, he also kind of dissed the franchise without even coming. So he becomes like there's a whole like maelstrom around Goran Dragic at the time. The other part with Goran Dragic was his contract was expiring, and that team clearly was pretty good. Like they were having some success. Scottie was an immediate hit as a rookie, and he comes in the starting lineup. Fred's still good. Actually, Fred makes the All-Star that season, so he was great. Actually, this first half of the season. Pascal comes back from injury. He's pretty good too. Gary's like, that was the year he was having his 30-point streak. So it was like OG was still there. It was like, okay, that's actually a pretty decent team. What they need to do is take like Goran Dragic's contract before it expires and turn it into something. Unfortunately, they had no real chance to turn it into something. So instead, they just traded it for Thad Young. And for some reason, they actually swapped a first-round pick in there. Now, the Raptors would argue the Raptors pick was probably in the late 20s, maybe early 20s, maybe like 22 in that range. And they traded down to get San Antonio's pick, which was, I think, 33rd. So they would argue they didn't really trade a first-round pick. They just traded down 11 spots. However, one of the players available in that 11 spots was Andrew Nembhard. So by the time the Raptors picked at 33, which it took Christian Koloko, Andrew Nembhard was taken 31st by the Indiana Pacers. Now, it depends on who you would hear from this. Some people would say that, Andrew Nembhard certainly had a lot of fans in the Toronto organization. Nick Nurse had coached him in China for the FIBA World Cup in 2019 for Team Canada. This was when Andrew was 18, but he was already in the rotation. For Nick, Nick was very effusive of his praise for Andrew even back then. I think Andrew actually came through for a draft workout. There's images of him wearing Raptors gear, like discussing sort of like his experience working out. And I think obviously we know how much he's a prideful Canadian, not a GTA resident necessarily because he's from Aurora, but still like a Canadian at least, an Ontario at least, you know what I mean? He wanted to play here too, but of course at the same time, Indiana was really, really taken by him. They really liked him as well. And I think that, I don't know. I think a lot of people really thought in that draft, the Raptors wanted Christian Koloko. So I wonder if both players were available, if the Raptors would have taken Andrew over Christian. There's a lot of ifs, but my point is like this is kind of like the complicated history of like how the Raptors didn't ultimately end up with Andrew Nembhard, as far as I know.
Yeah, shouts to Bobby Webster, but the Celtics traded a first rounder to the Spurs and got Derek White. We got Thad Young for a first rounder, bro.
We got Jakob
But look forward to doing some stuff with Bobby Webster, hopefully.
Yo, come on, man.
Oh my goodness.
I need to work on relationship building.
Actually, that's actually one of the things you're really good at. So,
Not on pod.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Well, I mean, on that note of figuring out who we were going to pick, why don't we do another spin before we get to our next bit? So
let's go.
I'm going to load that up.
Let's get a high pick so we can include it in the Giannis trade
Hey,
package.
lottery 1 week from now, we will be doing a post-lottery reaction show. So stay tuned. If you want to watch during the
I just
lottery.
got approval during the show of the location, just to let you guys know.
Oh, hell yeah.
Are we going there on Friday too for a dinner?
Yes, we
Wow.
are.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Anyway,
fair.
let's go to Simeon right now. So what do you guys have as your pick for the Toronto Raptors to land at?
So not to pull a Raptors moments, but they can't land in 3 or 4 or something.
No, they can't land or 5 or come on, dude.
5 or 6. 5 or 6.
I don't pay attention to this.
They
shit.
can only jump up to 1, 2, 3, or 4. Otherwise,
Okay.
they stay where they are or they move lower.
3.
Okay. Well,
I'm feeling good Monday, so let's go with number 1, man. Let's go with number 1.
all right. Let's sim it now. And we dropped to 8.
Oh, cool. No Giannis. Yeah.
But Philadelphia still loses their picks, so I guess there's that for us too.
Wonderful. Yo, Charlotte, the Charlotte Hornets are generational when it comes to getting the number 2 pick in
No,
a top 1 draft.
No, yeah.
Also,
if it's
San
if it's
Antonio
a
jumping
three-
up. Jeez.
If it's a 3-player draft, they'll get 4. If it's an 11-player draft, they'll get 12.
It's like if Anthony Davis is in the draft, they're getting number 2 and getting Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. If
Oh,
Wemby's in the draft, they're getting number 2 and getting Brandon Miller. if Cooper Fly's in the draft, they're getting whoever's number 2.
Oh my God, MKG.
MKG, man. Come
Well,
on.
we do see the San Antonio Spurs had moved their way up to the 3rd draft pick there. So my question is, what is new San Antonio Spurs president Gregg Popovich going to choose?
Man.
Yes, Spurs.
You know what?
Yeah, shouts.
I kind of like
shouts-
that.
Shouts to Pop, officially announced last week he's stepping down as Spurs head coach, going to be in a front office role now. So, yeah, I think everybody has Pop as just the greatest coach of all time. Coached through so many different eras. Was always
Wait,
very
greatest coach of
outspoken.
all time?
Yeah, I think they put him there. You put Phil there.
I mean, Phil does have the 11 rings.
Man, yeah, I don't know.
But Phil does
I
have
feel
like MJ and obviously Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, I think that's a good debate, Pop versus Phil. But yeah, Pop is stepping down, and Mitch Johnson's gonna slide in from the interim role into being the head coach of the Spurs. Yeah, it's the end of Gregg Popovich, man. Damn.
Yeah,
It's been around my whole life.
yeah, no, it is really sad. I think it's sad because not that Pop was going to coach that much longer. Like, there's been discussions like, is Pop gonna? I think there was even discussions like when, like Tony. Well, I guess Tony went to the Charlotte Hornets, which was weird. Because just ignore the Charlotte Hornets.
What's
Tony
the polar
Parker.
bear doing at the Spectrum Center?
Yeah, seriously, what is he doing there? But like, there was speculation that when Tim Duncan retired, that Pop was going to retire. You know, like, for example, whenever Steph Curry retires, I feel like that's when Steve Kerr is going to retire, right? I thought they're going to walk off to the sunset together. That was already 10 years ago now, right? And he still sort of held on. He still wanted to keep the organization afloat. I think more than anything else, I think what Pop was looking for was just like one way to actually say goodbye to the game. And it's a thing he spent his whole life in. And no matter where you want to rank Pop, at worst, a top 3 coach in NBA history, arguably the best number 1 coach in NBA history. Like, I would totally entertain that debate. But like, players who are that great deserve, or people who are that great deserve to walk off on their own terms. You know, whenever LeBron's done, he's going to get a farewell tour. When Kobe was done, he got a farewell tour. Like, it kind of guts me that Popovich, who has like direct ties to maybe half of the coaches in the league, feels like, including Toronto, by the way. Darko talks about Pop all the time. Darko will talk your ear off about the 2014 Spurs. You know, Darko did a whole like internship with San Antonio as well. I feel like there is an overwhelming love and demand to show Pop that respect. And I think one thing with Pop is he probably would have never wanted a farewell tour. You know, like he's never been vain. He's never been a guy who wants the spotlight. In fact, he hates the spotlight. The number one thing you know Pop for, besides winning championships, is how much he likes to pop reporters in interviews. Like, he actively dislikes that spotlight. But the amount of love in the NBA for him. I mean, you know, he's great when Adam Silver, like when a coach decides to leave a spot, you know, you don't usually, you know what I mean? Like when Mike Malone was fired along with Calvin Booth on the same day, it wasn't like Adam Silver put out a press release being like, hey man, you guys are great. Like, when Popovich left, like, even the league spoke up. And I feel like that's, like, he's an all-timer. We all know that. He's been an all-timer. And he's not dying, by the way. I guess they could still give him tributes and honors in their own way. But he's fostered, he's created a beautiful vision. And I feel like one of the things that happens with great people, too, is you end up giving the most credit for the last thing that they did. You know, I feel like with Jordan, like, the one championship out of the 6 that you would say is the most memorable is the last one, 98, right? When you think about Steph Curry, like, when you go back to all 4 of the championships he's won, the most memorable is the last one, 2022. The way he got Finals MVP finally, and he, you know, was incredible. I think there's some point where it's just like, you accept the person's great, you resent the greatness. You know, in the Spurs case, you feel the greatness is boring. It gets labeled that way. 2014, what he did, that's the ultimate respect that anyone will ever have. You know, like, it's not even just about how they won the championship, who they beat, but it was the way they played, man. The montages of the beautiful game, Boris Diaw making extra passes into the corner for Patty Mills, who pump fake sidestep swings to Danny Green. You know, like, that stuff is just like, every coach in the league wants to copy that. And I think that the way that Pop has been able to win championships with multiple styles, because the Spurs used to be gritty, man, like, grind it down, slow, Twin Towers.
Yeah, they're boring as hell to watch, man.
Yeah, to evolve over the course of like his 30-year career in coaching, from that to when you can win that way, and then you can win with the polar opposite of that. This will be like if Pop won prime minister as a conservative, and then also won prime minister as a liberal. You know what I mean? Like,
what did you vote? Oh, I'm just, go on. Yeah.
Anyway, my point is, it definitely wasn't conservative, I'll tell you that much. But, yeah, I mean, anyway, my point was just, Pop is a great man. And
great.
I wish he got to walk out
person,
on his own terms, man.
Great coach. And you just hope, like, you know, his health is good, and all of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
For his personal life. And I think just thinking about his basketball career too, like, this man went up against every era, man. Like, LeBron's first finals was against the Spurs. You know, Pop went up against Shaq and Kobe all of those years. And then LeBron again in Miami. And then even towards the end of their run, it was with Kawhi. Like, they went up against the Steph, KD Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, he's spanned so many different eras and just left such an impact on everyone. And I do like the coaching tree, because I love how Jim Boylan is part of that coaching tree.
He laid an egg. Mr. Egghead, man.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, so Pop, we'll miss you, Pop. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Pop 60 he has 60-win seasons. He had
Yeah,
13 50-win seasons. 13 50-win seasons. In fact, the year there was a lottery lockout, the one that they won in 99, but he even won 37 out of the 50 games in that lockout year, which is a 61-win pace.
Yeah.
So like it's ridiculous. He had a 50-win season in the other lottery lockout shortened season. That was 2011. There was only 66 games played in the regular season. He still won 50. It's like the Spurs, man. Like they're just an ultimate model. I mean, that's what the Raptors trying to build towards. Like when Darko's talking about how it's even when we win a championship, we're not going to be, the goal's not finished because our goal is to create a period of 10 years of being a championship contender. Like they're trying to be the Spurs, man.
All right, win one first. Okay. What else? You got something else to tackle here, right? Before we wrap up.
Yeah, on the topic of coaches, obviously this is not nearly the scale of Pop, but on the subject of coaches, because we obviously, Hello and Welcome doesn't just cover Raptors basketball and NBA basketball. We cover obviously Canadian basketball as well. And Gordie Herbert, this was already announced last week, but we didn't have a show on Friday. But Gordie Herbert was named Canada's head coach on the men's side. Women's side, coach is to be determined. I think they're going to announce this week. We'll see sort of who the name is on that side as well. But Gordie Herbert named as Jordi Fernandez's successor on the head coaching spot. Alex, what was your reaction when you first heard this?
Yeah, happy for Gordie. Obviously has the international experience with Germany. With Jordi Fernandez leaving, I think even with the disappointing result in the Olympics, like overall everybody was very happy having Jordi here, like bringing a bit of that continuity and personality to the team. And
he also stepped in last second when Nick
stepped
decided
in
to leave. Yeah.
after Nick bailed. And I think this is good for Team Canada. There's obviously going to be high expectations in this next Olympic cycle getting to 2028, and I think this is a good hire for them. I felt like they had some internal options as well.
Mm-hmm.
They had I think Nate Bjergren, even Jama is going to help out with some of the coaching at some of these tournaments and stuff. But Gordie obviously brings a lot of experience, and I think this is what Canada needs, because as much pressure as there was on the past Olympics, I think there will be just even more moving forward now.
Yeah, Jama would have been an interesting candidate as well. I think that the one issue with Jama, obviously, he hasn't been a head coach. And I think with Jama, he is Canadian. He grew up here, I think in Toronto. No, he grew up in BC, I think. In any case, Jama maybe is a future head coach. I wouldn't bet on it. I would predict it, let's say, for Team Canada on some level. Maybe he even coaches one of the AmeriCups, for example, because Gordie Herbert's not actually going to be coaching the team until 2026 because he's actually still under contract with Bayern Munich. So he's going to oversee the program until that point, but the next World Cup is 2027, so that's when you'll see the most prominent part of him taking over the team. And then of course 2028, that's the goal. Everyone wants to qualify for the Olympics, and of course that one's in LA. I think with Gordie, the interesting thing is, I didn't know this until I read Oren Weisfeld's great piece about this at Raps Republic, and if you had a chance to go to R, you can actually see Oren's piece. By the way, Oren's in the Amalfi Coast right now. So this guy's on the Amalfi Coast writing stories about Gordie Herbert.
Oh, he's off the surveillance state.
He's not surveilling nothing from over there, man. He's just enjoying boats and what are they having out there, man? Negronis, basically.
Big Brother's always watching, Oren.
Oh man. But that's tough, man. We got to draft greatest tweets from this season.
Man, we're going to burn everything down.
Yeah, burn it down, man. I don't care, man. Let it burn, Usher style.
Burn it down.
Great reference, by the way, to Seth Rollins there, Alex.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
also to clear up, Jama did head coach for the Raptors 905 at least, so he does have at least that head coaching experience.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Jama's actually done all the steps you need to. He's done the G League head coaching situation. He's gone over to the Warriors and won a championship there. He's obviously won a championship with the Raptors too as an assistant. I think there, especially for his career progress, he's kind of stalled out right now in terms of he's capped out. He's not going to be hired as a head coach. Well, I wouldn't rule anything out, but it doesn't feel like his name's coming up. There's a lot of vacancies across the league. You're not hearing Jama's name come up, for example. So I'm thinking for him probably to get an international spot, and the way Jordy was able to parlay his experience as head coach with the Canada national team to eventually becoming a head coach in the NBA after being a longtime assistant. Something similar could happen with Jama, but in any case, Gordie, he's just loyal. like to the. I mean, loyal to the soil sounds like a weird slogan. That's a little
No,
coded.
sir.
No, he loyal to the Canadian soil. I'll say that
Yo,
much.
it's diff here. The soil.
I didn't know
diff
that
here.
he was assistant coach for the 2008-09 Toronto Raptors.
He was a Raptors assistant under
Yeah.
Jay Triano for a year. He was
Sam
also,
Mitchell.
Oh, Sam
is-
Mitchell. Sorry.
Oh, Sam Mitchell and Jay Triano. It was the transition year.
Was it the crossover year?
It was the
Probably.
crossover year. Yeah.
I mean, he feels like a Jay Triano guy more than he feels
Right,
like a Sam
very
Mitchell
much
guy.
so.
But Gordie was apparently runner-up to Leo Routens and also runner-up to Nick Nurse as head coach in the 2 times those guys were head coach of the Canadian men's program. That's all part of Orangebees. I also found it interesting that there's a couple more details in there. Apparently, the decision for Jordy Fernandez to leave Team Canada, it was a mutual decision, according to sources. So obviously, Jordy needed to focus on the Brooklyn Nets, and I guess Canada felt like they needed a new coach moving forward anyway, which I thought was a little bit interesting because it feels like the narrative at that time was Jordy was leaving rather than it was a mutual split. And it also looks like Gordie can't actually coach the team till 2026. But Team Canada was okay with that also, according to sources. So actually, big shots to Orn for, just putting all the work in, doing the reporting aspect of this. I know him and Michael Grange wrote 2 great pieces around this. But yeah, Gordie's, he's experienced. He knows the FIBA game. He knows the international game. And I don't think he has an issue coaching NBA players because he just coached the Germany team with like 7, I think, NBA players or something like that. So, yeah. I mean, but it's important, though. This is really important, man. Like, this is Canada's best chance at the World Cup of 2027 and 28 in the Olympics if they get there. And they need to nail it. And I do agree with the head coaching decision, man. Gordie is a really good head coach.
Yeah, it seems like the clear thing that's missing is like experience and understanding of FIBA. So getting a coach that understands it is great.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other issue is which young Canadian bigs can emerge in this time because we already know what the issue with Canada's roster is.
CCYAAED.
Oh, man.
Arc Edie.
Oh yeah, Archimedes.
Archimedes.
New story arc just dropped.
Archimedes principle.
Did we burn that bridge yet?
Arkham Asylum.
Oh, there it is. Great comic reference. Okay, I guess that's it for the show. Do you have 4 minutes to make it to 2 hours, or are we going to close it out here?
So
Why did I challenge Will? Now
we
he's
had
looking.
lunch. We had lunch with Vivek Jacob on Friday,
Yeah,
We
man, I missed
did,
that.
yes.
and Will missed out because his ankle's green right now. And
Jalen.
and we went to a great Indian restaurant, Swagat. Yeah,
Swagat, yeah.
Swagat. Yeah.
So
and,
what you guys got?
it was a little spicy.
We got some paneer, a butter chicken, and a lamb
Paneer
curry.
Nelson.
Lamb curry could be spicy, but there's no way you.
So
the
the funny
paneer
thing
was
is,
too
so
spicy for you.
the paneer had a little bit of a spice, and then surprisingly, so the butter chicken was a restaurant special version. So we all ordered it expecting it to not have any, and then it had a little bit of a kick. Like I think it was perfectly fine for Vivek and me, but in tasting it, it was clear that this would be a journey for Alex. But Alex discovered a couple of things
So
in the
Vivek
process.
Vivek had to order a side of yogurt.
Yeah.
So I could help water down the spice. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is quite tasty, mixing in with the yogurt.
It was so good. And watching the way Vivek massages the rice with the yogurt and the sauce.
Yeah, that's
is
right.
Beautiful. So Swagat is he told us it means welcome.
That's right.
And namaste is hello. And it was a little contentious because I thought namaste was Japanese. And I guess it's a Hindu origin. Yeah, so which I
As you know, these countries are close, and there's things like
I
religion
always
that
thought
pass things along
namaste
in
was
our
like a
countries.
Japanese thing.
I can't believe this is our Asian heritage segment.
Yeah, again,
I mean-
Asian Heritage Month has been crumbling on this show. So I guess our show would be called Namaste and Swagat. Yeah. So are we putting that merch into production, or am I just getting one for my own? Yeah.
Well, you gotta make one for yourself. Make one for V, of course. Like,
Yeah, I
that's
think
kinda
we'll
how
make
this
one for
goes.
V first. I don't know why you just wanted it for
Yeah.
yourself.
Well,
Yeah,
this is also
V.
like we also did make exclusive halal and welcome merch, which was fire.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
made a
yeah, yeah,
single hoodie for a friend of the show, Shireen Ahmed, who actually did make a podcast called Burning It All Down.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Shireen.
You got roasted in the chat.
That's so good.
Oh, God.
That's so good. Oh,
That's so
my
funny.
God. Yeah, so
That's why we said namaste and yoga, because it's Japanese.
Yoga Flame.
no.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
my
so
gosh.
namaste, everybody.
Yeah.
I think
So-
it means hello and goodbye. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think
It's like
yeah.
aloha. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
All
so
right,
okay,
PI.
we got 45 more seconds left. Leafs tonight. What are we saying for the Leafs tonight, man?
Leafs, 8-0.
You gonna bring me a jersey, by the way? I need
Yeah,
a
I
jersey,
have a
man.
white jersey.
I
for you.
think
Yeah.
It's just blank.
Yeah, it's blank. Yeah.
I think what is really great about you guys
Okay.
attending tonight is
Yeah.
that when we inevitably do, well, no, I won't say inevitably. If we end up having to do a Leafs blame pie, you were officially in the mix.
Oh, yeah, I'll do a Leafs blame pie. Mitch Marner, come on.
Yo, congrats to Mitch Marner. You know, him and his wife had a baby.
Oh, that's right, man.
Yeah, sure. So.
Zero blame pie.
Yeah, Leafs
Dalzine,
8-0.
my favorite Japanese street fighter.
Yoga Flame.
Aloha, the great Korean phrase.
Ni hao, the Sikh phrase for yo, what's up?
Asian Heritage Month, baby. We're all gonna learn something.
Oh, my gosh.
my god, this is the worst representation of Asians ever.
We
Now,
did.
okay, do the Leafs have like slogan? Like, do they have chants? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Go
how
Leafs,
the-
go.
yeah,
Just go Leafs, go?
Yeah, yeah.
We
There's
haven't
not like a
won
you'll never
since
walk alone, like-
1967.
No, it's always been. I think it's always been Go Leafs, go. Their hashtag is Leafs forever.
Mm.
Yeah.
Leafs forever.
Forever in
hash-
pain. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a kind of a funny irony about when they did it that like every time that they lose, like the Leafs forever in pain or anything like that would be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Streets are saying Marner got that Fred VanVleet aura.
That's what they're calling on, yeah.
Yeah. No, Leafs
That's
8
kinda
nothing
fire.
tonight. Yeah, let's go.
8-0, 8-0.
Wagwan, the ancient Chinese phrase uttered amongst young
my
Torontonians.
God.
It's actually pronounced Wagwan.
Oh, right. There's also, for a period, the Passion.
Oh yeah,
which
the
was, yes.
passion. Yeah. So. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited, man.
show.
First ever playoff Leafs game. Big shout out
Yeah,
to Rob
same,
once
same.
again, of
Shouts
course.
to Robert.
Yeah.
Man, really
Wait, you
appreciate
never
it.
been to a Leafs game?
Playoff game?
wise?
I've never been. Yeah.
Yo.
I've never been to a playoff game. So.
Damn, and you were just gonna offer that to me and my dad?
Yeah. No, I told
That's really
Will that
nice.
you should
That's
bring.
generous,
yeah,
man.
you can if you still want to bring
Alex
your
is in
dad
his
tonight.
generous phase. Yeah.
If you still want
Nah.
to bring your dad tonight, you should, man. It'll mean
No.
more. It'll mean more to him than me, man.
No, it'll mean a lot to you. Look at you. You got holding the Tim Hortons right now, man. You're
So-
Canadian.
that just happens all the time for Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just hold something else then. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Burgers? Is that
Shut
a
up,
Canadian
Burgers.
product?
I don't think
all
so.
right, great show.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. And I guess what was the phrase?
What, man? I can finally eat my Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich.
It's cold as hell. It's been 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Gonna eat it. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of the playoffs. Enjoy the Leafs playoffs, and we'll catch you later on this week. This has been Hello and Welcome Podcast presented by Betway.